Greetings, travelers. If you're listening to this on something that is not Patreon, then it's old. If you want to listen to it when it's new, then you got to go to the Patreon. That's patreon.com/JaboodyDubs. Get the cool little perks, those big, hot, perky nips, twist them, squirt them, and enjoy them. Join us on there. You guys make it all possible. Without you, it wouldn't be possible. Damon wouldn't be able to shake those protein shakers. Pops wouldn't be able to shake those eyebrows off his head. We would be sitting here with our thumbs up our asses. So thank you. Let's do some podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fantastic podcast starring your hosts, Justin, Damon, and Pops. Yeah, there's a lot of podcasts out there, but this is another fantastic podcast.
Hey, It's great to be here. Good to have you. How you doing?
Back and better than ever.
It's Christmas time.
It is.
Yeah, it's just about
Which means Star Wars.
Is that what that means?
Star Wars.
Well, I guess before we get into it, we could talk, let's see, what else? Oh, okay, we did a gingerbread lady dub. We worked really hard on it. We went into crunch mode. We went into 24/7 overtime mode for you boys because we wanted to get a nice, girthy, 8-minute long, juicy, mattress bitch-esque style dub ready for Christmas.
Ginger juice.
Facts.
And it got blocked worldwide by YouTube.
You gotta love it.
YouTube.
You gotta love it.
So, just so you guys know, support on Patreon has never been more important because literally the main distribution platform for all videos does not like content creators.
They hate content. I think we can all agree they hate content.
Well, I mean, they do like content, you know, the content that Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Dean do, but not, you know, these, you know, ragamuffins, the Jaboody boys.
Got to change our name to Jimmy. Jimmy Dubs.
It's not content, it's reruns. Those are reruns.
So I appreciate all the patrons who support us and believe in us.
They got it, though. Patrons got the dub.
Yeah, they got to see it first.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you join on that shit.
And
You get the perks.
It means a lot to have fans that want to see your content, but then produce it. You guys literally produce our content.
Yeah, we can't sit there all day like that, making funny jokes into a microphone and laughing about gingerbread ladies that are obsessed with gingerbread. It wouldn't be possible.
Not without you guys.
But it was a Christmas miracle thanks to the folks. So you guys got it. They got to download it and enjoy it. And we'll be debuting it on Twitch because 'tis the season. We got to let everyone else see it. But the patrons get it first.
That's right.
As they should.
They get a downloadable link, too.
They get to save it and put it in their digital archives
They get
for
to watch
future.
it. They get to scrub through it as if it was on YouTube.
The Jaboody archive.
Can you
Add
imagine?
that to the collection. That would be pretty sick.
Imagine scrubbing through a video as if it was on YouTube.
Imagine.
Can you imagine that?
Imagine.
I could possibly imagine.
But yeah, I'm tired of hearing YouTubers complain about it, but it does suck. But yeah, YouTube sucks. So nothing new there.
Yeah, we've been on that.
But yeah, you can check it out on Twitch. We'll be doing a little Christmas Eve stream.
Christmas Eve, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Be hanging
Don't
out.
miss it. Yeah.
Party games, Christmas stories, gift exchange-o.
Ooh, the
maybe
gift
little
exchange.
giveaways for the people
Sing-along
watching.
carols, eggnog.
We should get some nog.
We getting some
Should
nog.
be important.
Do you know what's bullshit though? Candy canes. Candy canes can go fuck it. Just
Oh,
go fuck off.
dude.
You don't
but
like
have
sucking on nice candy?
Have you seen those new ones, though? They're like twisty mango and strawberry and raspberry flavors.
What? That's too much.
They
That's
got
doing
like
too much.
tropical dope-ass
I
flavors
don't know.
now.
Well, it's not peppermint, which
Ew.
I'm okay with.
Is that ever
Ugh.
good when you go to
I
like
don't know, man.
when you go to a restaurant and they hand those out at the end?
Peppermint
It's
bark
not
sounds gross.
It's not candy. It's just a breath mint. It's not
True,
candy.
dude,
Yeah.
true.
It's not.
It's crystallized Santa's dab wax, dog. That's what he gets high off of. Cane, that
Santa needs to
fucking
start
pure
smoking weed
cane.
because that candy cane shit's trash,
Yeah,
bro.
it
Ain't
sucks
cutting it.
ass. What else sucks about Christmas?
What's the things that suck about Christmas? Getting gifts.
Fucking sucks.
Having to buy the gifts.
Yeah, buying the gifts.
Buying the gifts,
specifically.
dude. I always tell myself every year I'm gonna get my Christmas shopping done early, avoid all the crowds, and I never do it. And this year was no exception, boys. I had to go out into the public, into the mall.
Oof.
God damn it, was it awful. I got bumped into so many times whenever I was walking into the stores, people just going up to me, just attacking me basically.
Yeah.
Sir, did you find everything okay? Sir, do you need anything? Sir, buy something!
Don't forget the people who were working there were just like, what do you want? So,
Please,
I'd rather that.
what do you want, sir?
I'd rather that.
Sir, what do you want?
Because, normally the people that work there just won't leave you alone.
Oh, that's always fun.
But yeah, it was awful. So that sucks. That's another thing that sucks about when it gets close to Christmas.
Mine sort of switched, so now I don't deal with that. I just deal with so many cardboard boxes from Amazon.
Oh yeah, we're stockpiling.
Oh my god, I can't even
Yeah.
see the garage because I don't have time to chop them up and throw them away. I got to wrap the gifts and get everything ready because it's coming up. So,
We should make a fort out of all that cardboard.
dude,
Yeah.
after Christmas, it's gonna be a lot of cardboard cutting.
Now, you know what I do? I love trolling my family like this. I'll get my family like a gift that's like really small or something, maybe like a gift card. I'll put that in a box. I'll put that box
Oh,
in a
you're
box.
that guy.
I'm that asshole.
You're
I'll
that
put
guy.
your gift in like 5-6 boxes, make you open all of them.
Hey, it makes
I'm that
Christmas look
guy,
epic.
right?
That morning, it looks amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, it's coming up. It's finally will be over, and then we'll get into the new year. Who knows? Maybe we'll do something cool for New Year's. on
New
the
Year's
stream.
2020.
I didn't even think of New Year's yet.
Guys-
I've been all Christmas all the way.
Right? The start of a new decade.
New decade.
A new decade.
Yeah, so normally when you do like games of the year, that's like, that's like last year business. But now we could do best year of the decade
Mm-hmm.
Best year of the decade.
or best game of the decade. Sorry,
Best
I'm
game of
just
the decade.
Yeah.
getting dyslexic. Sorry.
I was like, I'm so bad with years. I don't even know the difference of what I was
Yeah, I
doing
guess you
in
could do that
16 or
too.
I know.
17.
People
I don't know
were-
how
pe-
people do that.
People were doing that dumb challenge on Twitter where it's like 2009 versus 2019. It's like, dude, I don't even know what I was doing back then. What the fuck?
I'd have
2012? I couldn't tell you.
I have
Couldn't
such
tell
a
ya.
hard time doing that. People are like, oh, yeah, let's see. In 2011, oh, yeah, I was working here in that summer. I was like, dude, I have no idea.
I usually
who I
reference
was.
those off of games, like, oh yeah, the
What
The
game
Witcher
came
came out
out?
in 2011 or something
Yeah.
like that. You're like, oh okay,
Yeah.
that's where I was in life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
game came out that time? But for us, 2020, it's cool to say.
2020.
2020.
Little twin.
We'll be upgrading some things. You guys will see the Patreon. We have a lot of things we want to tweak and make better, improve the Patreon experience because they believe they don't block us worldwide.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They don't block us worldwide, so we'll be updating some of the perks, I think, and making
Yeah.
it better and spruce it
2.0.
up. And
Trying to update or find a better way to get the files to you guys so you guys don't always have to download them and stuff like that.
we got
Off
ideas.
of WeTransfer and all that.
So
So we
we'll
got
do-
a couple ideas.
A lot of cleaning up.
And also some things
Reorganizing.
on YouTube as well, because not everyone's willing to make a jump over to the Patreon, which I completely understand. You know, there's just people they're boomers and they like their YouTube and that's it.
That's it, buddy.
And
Don't
making
you dare
that-
take that away from me.
Giving perks to those people as well. And then I can definitely see if the Amazon Watch Party on Twitch becomes an actual thing that we like.
We'll see.
Live movie commentaries could definitely be a 100% thing.
Oh,
Live
you know,
definitely
only
could
hope.
possibly.
I'm on board, but I won't get excited until I
Yeah.
see it actually happening.
I think it's going to happen sooner than you think.
Yeah,
I really
we'll
hope
see.
so.
All right, well, that's Christmas talk. Yeah, anything else we want to say about Christmas?
Everybody be safe out there, I guess.
We'll have a stream. We'll do some eggnog. We'll hang out with you guys there.
We'll
probably
see you then.
But yeah, we'll answer some questions at the end of this podcast. I
Okay.
think there's some Patreon Christmas themed questions, but I think now is the time to talk Star Wars. This is the
Yes.
review. We'll do spoiler free first. Okay?
That's fair. That's fair.
Boom.
So, if you're watching this is just the logo of the Star Wars in the background. When we start doing spoilery stuff, we will stamp it saying,
Yeah, so check this out.
spoiler warning.
Check this out. Live editing. So when we get into it, I'll add this.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you can, because I hate when you watch reviews and they're like, skip. They don't even tell you the time.
Yeah.
Like, we'll talk spoilers, and then later, I want it to be clear, even visually. You'll see it when we get there. But for now,
Let's just talk about the movie as
Spoiler
a
The
movie.
free.
nice spoiler-free, safe review.
Yeah.
let's go down the line
Yeah.
and say your overall spoiler-free, what you thought, and your score.
Okay.
Okay.
Donger.
You know what? Overall, as a movie, I thought it was all right.
Okay.
I did not think it was as bad as I initially expected it to be. I thought it was going to be a huge fucking mess. Score, I'd probably say maybe a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
What would you say is your favorite Star Wars?
Yeah.
To give us
my favorite Star
and worst, so we
Wars?
can kind of gauge where this is.
Okay, worst by
Yes.
far Last Jedi, of course.
Okay.
My favorite is between what's the middle one? Empire Strikes Back
Yep.
and Revenge of the Sith, just because
Okay.
special place in my heart. Saw it when it first came out, even though they're shitty. But yeah, actually, Empire Strikes Back. It's
Empire
too good.
Strikes Back
It's too good. It's
has
too good.
everything.
Has everything. Classic. Love it.
Okay.
What about you? Just
So I have to put it in a box because of what they did, which is this is continuing The Last Jedi, which sucked so much ass, and nothing happened in Last Jedi.
Big waste of time.
nothing.
A huge waste of time. After we saw it, I was bringing up the argument. Could you, in fact, watch 7, skip 8, and then watch this movie? And except for a few things, you totally can.
Except
So-
for what happened with Luke.
Well, let's not get into
Well,
spoilers.
that's Last Jedi. That's Last Jedi.
We're talking about Last Jedi.
So, yeah, Last Jedi, you wouldn't know what happened with a few characters, but I even think, I swear, I still almost think that you could, other than Force Awakens leaves you off with Luke, so you would need to see what happens there. But so Last Jedi, nothing happens. This movie had to make everything that didn't happen in that movie happen, and then so much more. This movie is so much. There's so fucking much in this movie. This felt like watching 3 Dragon Ball Z sagas in 1 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
Or however long it was. A lot of cool stuff. I mean, it's a lot of just stuff. Like, I remember when we left, I was like excited. Like, it felt like watching more of an Endgame movie.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool shit happening. It felt like a Marvel movie. A lot of stuff had to happen. And they made a lot of creative decisions to sort of, wrap up this trilogy. I'm going to go ahead and I think leaving the movie theater, I gave it a 7.5. And I think giving it a day or two to think about it, I think it might just be an even 7.
Okay.
There's a few things. A few things knocked it off having to think about it. But overall, so much better than Last Jedi. I think it's a 7, whereas I think Force Awakens was also a 7.
Okay.
Ish.
Okay.
Movie where I was like, that was entertaining, but they're kind of doing some dumb shit. I don't know what they're getting at with this. Actually, no, I'd say maybe the Force Awakens is probably an 8. This one's a 7. But Last Jedi is like a 4.
Oh, yeah.
Last Jedi is a fucking waste of everyone's fucking time.
Yep.
That's my score.
Okay.
Pops.
And favorites, least favorites, so people can kind of
My
gauge.
least favorite Star Wars movie. Well, I keep telling you guys, episode 2 and 3 are blurred to me. I don't know what happens. I know it's Dooku, and then the Grievous guy. I forget those movies. I don't know what the worst one is. I'd have to watch 2 and 3 again.
Okay.
It's been years. I saw them when they came out. That's about it. We watched the classics. Empire's the best.
Classics are best, yeah.
It's crazy how Empire is like more of a characters needing and wanting things and having interactions and character archetypes, and the lightsabers and the Force is a backdrop thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he grabbed it and he got free, and that's it.
Yeah.
This movie's like fucking flying. And it's like, this is a Marvel movie version, whereas Empire's like a drama with cool characters and design. But I don't know what the worst one is. I don't know if it's 2 or 3 or episode 1. I don't know.
Okay.
Darth Maul's cool, so maybe the other ones.
You know what? The prequels got Darth Maul, some of them.
I don't know.
We'll go
One
Last
of them.
Jedi's the worst one.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think Last Jedi's up there with the worst, though.
So for my review, as a movie, if you've never seen Star Wars and you watched this, you would probably hate Star Wars. Because there's so much to it, you'd be like, this is so confusing. There's way too much things going on. There's so many referrals back to things that I didn't think were necessary to the plot, but I guess they're very much tangible information that you have to respect.
Yeah.
And as a Star Wars fan, you probably see this movie as the movie that's trying to make up for all the mistakes or things that just didn't happen in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Because The Last Jedi, literally nothing happens. You could summarize The Last Jedi as they're trying to get to point A to point B, and through this 2-hour movie, they get there. And that's basically what happens.
Yeah.
And then they're
Things
like,
that were built up were nothing.
and then J.J. Abrams is like, okay, so we need to finish this entire series. And finishing Star Wars sounds like a monumentally incredible task.
In one movie, because Star Wars is a dense franchise.
But
Man.
with Last Jedi leaving you there, could you imagine go, oh, jeez, fuck, dude, what'd you do?
Yeah.
You ruined everything I had going in the first
man.
one.
Yeah.
And at the same time, that's kind of cool, but it's like, I had nothing to work with. He literally had to pull a rabbit out of his ass for this one.
So if I think like if Empire Strikes Back took the same approach that The Last Jedi did, the entire Star Wars classic series would have been demolished because trying to solve things in the third movie that just never happened seems just so complicated. And I think the major problem with Rise of Skywalker is they try to do too much fan service.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of what Empire was great was very simple. Characters are trying to get stronger. They're trying to take care of the task at hand.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to defeat the bad guy. And in this one, they try to add too many layers to things that would make fans happy that they knew would get a response. Like it wasn't a lot of like pro wrestling writing. I felt was like in Rise of Skywalker, where they're gonna swerve you in a certain direction, which you didn't think was gonna happen. They're gonna do a lot of these little cheap pops. They're gonna have this character do something that's gonna make people go, "Hey!"
Yes.
But at the end of the day,
Of course, it's Star Wars.
at the end of the day, I think J.J. Abrams did a great job of filming the movie. There's a lot of stuff that looks great.
It looks cool.
You look and go, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah. There are a lot of really cool shots.
There's also like 2 or 3 things that I would have been like, you didn't need to do this. We didn't need to go here.
There's a lot that I think in this one can be fixed with just a dialogue line or just a gesture. I was like, man, that would have made so much more sense if you just...
You know what would have fixed the flaws of Rise of Skywalker? If you fixed The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I think that's kind of
a different movie
It would
entirely.
be completely different.
I think that's the general way of thinking this.
I mean, with Last Jedi, with Snoke built up in Force Awakens, this would be, who knows what this movie would have been.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? But the people are on their edge of their seats who are waiting to go see it. Maybe they're seeing it later today. What is your review, Pops? Spoiler-free review.
I agree with you. I think The Force Awakens, when I first saw Force Awakens, I'm like, this is really cool. They're going to do something really interesting with these characters.
Oh, yeah.
I
was excited.
I thought Finn was a really cool character. I liked Rey. I thought Rey looked cool. She had a lot of potential. And Poe was cool. He's kind of like the Han Solo wannabe type of character. I gave that an 8. I was excited.
I gave it an
This
8.
is a good start. I'm like,
nice
all right,
solid 8.
Got you
Disney's,
excited about Star Wars again.
Disney's doing
All
something
over
really
again,
cool.
yeah.
Yes.
Little soft reboot. That's fine.
So what's
Last
this?
Jedi was like a 3.
Okay.
That was just terrible.
Yeah, I said 4, but yeah, you're more.
Yeah.
It's probably
It's
3 or 2.
Thinking about
for
it
me.
now, it's going down more and more. I think about it.
Really bad.
Like, I don't want to watch that one again at all.
At all.
I have no need. There's no need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So this one, I didn't like it coming out of the movie theater, but the more I think about it, the more it's not that bad. It's just, it's overly complicated. I gave it a 7.
7.
7? Okay.
7.
See, you guys kind of went more in depth than me. I got one more thing I got to say about
As
it.
a general
As
spoiler
a just
free.
general spoiler free, the whole reason that mine is at a 6 was because I agree with what you guys said. I think the movie looked great overall. In terms of just a movie, like you want to go to the movies and you want to have you want to watch something just full of action and you're not going to be bored while you're watching it. This movie does that. It does that for sure. It's like you said, it's like the end of Endgame. It's like a Marvel movie basically, right?
So it's hype.
I thought it was great coming out of the theater. The more and more I thought about it, and I thought about what I just watched, I was like, the less and less all this stuff makes sense in the Star Wars universe. And that's where I'm like, the more and more I think about it, the little plot armor shit that I kind of went over my head while I'm watching, I was like, that's cool. All this action, whatever. You think about it, you're like, dude, that should not belong in a Star Wars movie.
So much coincidence. What a coincidence.
So many
this movie is convenient. The movie. But
So many conveniences in this movie where you're just like, there's no way that any of this shit would happen. But just, the more and more I think about that and just what happened with the plot and everything like that, it just went down and down for me in terms of just the score. But yeah.
I think it's in the bottom half of bad Star Wars movies.
yeah.
But there's a lot of bad ones.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the middle, but it's definitely in the bottom half.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a lot that you're like, wow, that's convenient. But then I go, with The Last Jedi, of course there has to be some convenience in this because he's left with fucking nothing. And I don't know what this movie's supposed to be about. And a lot of the characters are left in the dust from the last movie.
Yeah.
And so you have no choice but to keep them in the dust and then have some coincidental happen. Wow, I'm so glad that worked out type of shit happened.
But for everything that this movie had to do because of The Last Jedi and everything that it had to explain, I feel like it did a decent job of that. Because there was so many things so many loose ends that they had to, finish. So many plot holes and all this shit that they did. I feel like they did a good job of doing that and just kind of, wrapping up the Star Wars franchise and just giving people a little bow on top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
This is definitely an end to the trilogy
It's definitely
as
an
well.
end.
This is they end things off. But
I mean, I guess they could continue making post-sequel movies. I mean, I guess there's always that possibility.
I
Yeah.
thought they were going to do a bunch of little standalone stories.
But
now.
standalones obviously seem like the way to
The
go.
Han Solo story, the
Yeah.
origin of Chewbacca.
Yeah.
That we all can't wait to watch.
What
That'll
does
happen.
what does Luke do post the Empire falling? Like, there's a lot of stuff you could do there, but then I guess you got to cast a young Mark Hamill, so maybe that won't work.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that played Winter Soldier in the Endgame movies? That guy looks just like young Mark Hamill.
There you go.
There you
The
go.
Sebastian guy.
Somebody
I'm telling you.
Like they
Watch
did for
this.
Han Solo. They got a different guy
Oh,
for
yeah.
that, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I don't know. Overall, it was entertaining, but there was a lot of moments in this one where our movie theater was like, what? Nah. Yeah, that guy does look
Right?
Holy shit. Yeah, that guy does look like
Looks just like him. Anyways,
holy
sorry.
shit.
Go ahead.
Yeah, our audience, you could feel the reaction, people going, oh, no.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
hear laughter where there's not supposed to be laughter
Yeah,
you're like,
comical
wow,
laughter
this
at
is
very serious moments.
Looney Tunes shit is
yeah.
going on right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to keep talking without getting into it. Is it time, boys?
I think it's time to start
All right.
spoiling
Time for spoilers.
Let's
So
get into
if
it.
you're listening to this, you probably want to comb through it if you're trying not to get spoiled, or better yet, just go watch the movie.
Go watch it.
There you
Come
go.
back to this.
There you go.
And resume. All right. Let's see. Jesus, where do we start? We could
Oh,
almost
man.
go in order ish. I mean, we don't have the best memory.
Okay.
We could try
But
to.
so the movie opens up and it's action. It's action.
Well,
action.
they open up with the panning text, right?
Which
And I was like, wow, they're really just going raw with the information that Palpatine's back alive.
Palpatine is broadcasting
And he's
his
talking to
voice.
people.
Why is he giving his voice
yeah,
away?
there was so like such a they just shove you right into the story.
Yeah.
Back again. I thought they would like reveal Palpatine coming back in a better way, but no, it's just
Yeah.
one of
In
the
a
first
crawl.
it's in the title crawl.
He's
Palpatine is
broadcasting.
back.
He's
Yeah.
broadcasting live on Twitch.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. He said he's broadcasting his voice. I thought it should have just, there's so many things where I'm like, just tweak it. It should have just said, Emperor Palpatine has been speaking to Kylo Ren.
Yes. That makes way
That
more
would
sense.
have been so cool.
Yeah.
Why is he broadcasting his voice throughout
The
the
entire
galaxy?
And I'm like,
Galaxy.
why now?
And
Out of
so
all-
people
why
are like
now?
mopping up and going, the fuck? I hear an old guy. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. That power. So it's dumb.
What? What
and
the
also,
fuck?
from a strategy standpoint, Palpatine's really shooting himself in the foot. The element of surprise with all of his Death Stars, Star Destroyers, if he just showed up and you just had Star Destroyers blowing up planets, you'd be like, holy shit, that's way more of a military strategy than being like, hey guys, prepare for the rebellion. I'm back alive, by the way.
Yeah. So instantly the movie started off where you're like, where are they
Okay.
going with this?
Yeah, you see Kylo just wrecking some shit with his lightsaber.
Yeah,
and
he's trying
doing
to
cool
find
stuff.
the
Palpatine. He can hear Palpatine laughing, Palpatino, and he's like
It's
chopping
Palpatino.
people up.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, cool, we're starting off right. Then it cuts to Rey, and she's being trained by Leia.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sick. 'cause-
It was cool. You wish you got to see a little bit more of that in the film.
I guess the limitations of Carrie Fisher is probably why they couldn't get more into it. I'm sure if she was still alive, they probably would have had some pretty interesting like Jedi training. Leia as a Jedi is very interesting too.
I see her as a good trainer, but not so much. Obviously she's not doing flips.
I mean, she would have had Luke do it, but Luke unfortunately did not survive past the Last Jedi.
Yeah, but it was given what they had with Carrie. I'm probably sure everyone's like, "What'd you think of Carrie?" If you didn't know she passed away, maybe it wouldn't be so obvious. But because we're all in the movie theater, and go, "What are they gonna do?" She's gone, and then it's a lot of the over the shoulder, a lot of stand-ins. They said there was no CGI, and there was.
There totally was.
So I'm like, what the fuck?
There's
Why
a little
did
de-aging,
why not just
And
face
then-
rig some new actress and just
then
do it then?
They did the thing where like all her responses were like one or two words.
No.
It's like, yes, no.
Yes.
What do you need? What should I do, Master? Is this okay?
And then another
Yes.
character comes in. What she's trying to say is this.
No,
And
let
she
me
goes,
take it away,
"Yes."
General. Yeah.
So they did a lot of that. There was a weird joke where the fat dude was like, "What are we gonna do, Leia?" And then the other one's like, "You need to be more." Or she goes, "You need to be optimistic." And then he goes, "Okay,
Right.
this is terrible, but we're having." I was like, "Is this a joke?"
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's from.
Yeah.
You know what pissed me off? That was straight from Robin Hood Men in Tights. Do you guys remember that movie at all? He's like, "Tell me the bad news in a good way," and he's like, "Oh, the bad news in a good way." Oh yes, okay. And they're like, "Why are you laughing, you asshole?"
Yeah.
I was like, "That's the same joke,
I
but
was
they
like,
just
yeah.
did it awful."
Yeah, they had a line where she said something. Be
She's
positive.
like, "Be optimistic.
So-
Tell me the good news." He's like, "Well, we're all gonna die pretty soon." And they're like,
Yeah, Empire's back, and
and I was like, "Dude,
great.
I don't understand some of the jokes that they just try to shoehorn in these films." Like they're always at such a weird timing.
Yeah.
They try to do that Marvel type of comedic writing, which is to cut the deep drama tension, but then it was too jarring and like in the context it didn't make sense to make.
I feel like that's a big problem with these movies that they just try to make them too much like the Marvel films now. Just they see all the success of everything they get away with the Marvel shit, and they're just like, well, we could do that same thing with Star Wars.
Yeah. Moving on. So this movie is just a big, we got to go get this thing so we can go get this thing that'll help us find this thing so we can get that thing and then we can find the thing. That's what this it's a big fetch quest.
They
movie.
wrote it like a quest.
They wrote it like a quest.
Like a video game almost.
Yeah.
Finn has no reason to be there other than he likes Rey, I guess.
Yeah, so he starts off like they're having like this confrontation. He pulls her aside, he's like, I need to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay, he probably wants to tell her that he has like some kind of fighting love with her,
which
or
is
some
funny
deep
because
secret
he had a
that
kiss with Rose in Last Jedi, and that scene is so funny. She's like, "Hey, Finn," he's like, "Stay here, buddy."
Yeah,
and then he leaves, and you never see her again. It was there's so many just fuck yous to the Last Jedi in this movie that it's like almost comical.
Dude,
so Kylo finds Palpatine pretty quick in the movie,
in the
very quick,
first 10 minutes of the movie,
and you see the fucking recycle bin of Snokes, and I was like, what a fuck you to the Last Jedi.
That shit made me laugh. Just a giant fucking fish aquarium of dead Snokes. I was like, what? Okay, so he was just a clone the whole time.
And he goes, it was me the whole time. I was Vader. I was Snoke. I am Palpatine. I am all of them. And this is how I interpreted it, him saying, basically, it would have been, why not give us some kind of flashback as to how he's still alive?
That would have been cool.
If you showed him falling from Empire, right? Falling.
Yeah.
Or Return.
Return of the Jedi.
When he falls down, if they cut to him, I don't know, fucking, I know that shows like a light go, and it's like energy, but that could be taken as maybe he fell through something, I don't know, malfunction. What if you show him falling and landing and then like some cult finding him and gathering his remains and doing force heal to him and keeping him hooked up to him? If they gave him some kind of context, because we're just like, where'd he come from? Because you're like, is he a clone? Is he hooked up to a machine?
Yeah.
I accepted he fell, survived. Some Sith obsessed people found him. He communicated, healed what parts of his body he needed.
The way I interpreted it, you interpreted as he lived. I interpreted as he died.
Me too.
And then somehow they took his corpse or part of his corpse or part of a previous version of Palpatine.
He's sort of zombified, hooked up to a machine.
That's what I
he's
thought.
kind of Frankensteined together through
Force.
Either
Sith.
the Force or through cloning or through just sci-fi or just however you're just supposed to accept, buy into the reality of it all.
It would have been so sick if they showed how,
they,
though.
They
They
didn't even need to show it. They just needed to do something where they explain why. Because this is the problem right now. All three of us have our own little interpretations of what it meant. Why didn't they just explain what happened?
Maybe they like that.
He did say he's died multiple times.
Did he?
Did say that in the movie.
What did he say?
He did say that. He's like, I've died multiple times.
See, when he said that, the way I interpreted it was, there's like Force ghosts on the Jedi side. I thought he was just a Force ghost for the Sith, and he was just the last one.
Could be.
And I thought that made sense because where he's dead, but he's still able to talk to Kylo Ren and all these people, just like a Force ghost would.
Yeah.
I was like,
I would have thought that, but the machinery, he's like on life support.
Yeah, and then I was like, that makes no sense. So is he a ghost or is he still alive? They didn't
I like that he's
explain
hooked up to a machine. I thought it was sick.
That was very anime.
Whole place where he's at is so sick. You're like, this is where the Sith would fucking hang out. On a planet that's off the chart, hard to find, super evil shit going on.
Edgy as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, him
So
being a zombie was cool. I thought it was really sick.
It looked cool.
I just
didn't like not knowing what his deal was.
But whatever. Maybe the director's like, well, we want that open to your interpretation.
I think that's what they're going for.
Whatever.
Yeah, but the problem with that, I think Red Letter Media has talked about this before, is that like you have to have like a sense of rules when it comes to that shit. Because I don't know what's at stake. I don't know what he can and can't do.
Hey, dude, after Last Jedi, weaponizing
There's
light
new meta.
speed.
Yeah.
The whole thing's fucked because of Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just light speed right into his face?
Yeah.
But they did that.
Line it up and go light speed right into his face and go.
Why not just shoot your giant EMP electricity all over the galaxy and kill everyone?
That I can suspend my disbelief because they did the same thing in the prequels. Be like, well, why not just use attack droids every time? Why have clones, which are obviously harder to create than droids that are just, you can make millions and millions of them.
Either way, you
could go down
you
that
give
rabbit
your
hole.
beliefs up, and you go, okay, this is cool. He looks cool. He's a zombie. He looks evil as fuck. He's really hamming it
And
up.
he's the bad guy now.
But and then I thought about it, I was like, yeah, if you were left with this movie, what would you do? Because the last one made Snoke just dip.
Yep.
And there was no bad guy at the end. And Kylo Ren was sort of starting to become a good guy at Last Jedi, kind of. So what would you have done? I was like, you had to pull something out of the back of your ass.
You have to bring Palpatine back. I think they made the right move doing that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I just don't really like the way that they did it. I think they could have explained that better, but they made the right move just to finish the trilogy of bringing him back.
When they were writing The Force Awakens, the first of the sequels, do you think they had Palpatine as the bad guy in the last movie?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think that was the only move that they could do, and they did it.
You know what would have been smarter is if they planted a seed of Palpatine's son. Instead of making Palpatine's son this throwaway nothing thing, because Rey's the granddaughter.
Yeah.
So we're like, who's the dad? Why didn't he train his own son to be evil like him? What if they built that up as Palpatine died and this is his son, which you would have been like, okay, but this whole thing's weird because now you're like,
where has he been hiding this whole time?
This whole thing's weird because you're like, yo, Palpatine fucked?
Wait.
With that
old ass face?
Busted a nut?
Wait,
that guy with the that guy.
What if he didn't bust any nut and he made a clone of himself?
That would have been even better.
That was going to be Palpatine the next generation. Like, he was going to use his clone son as a sacrifice so that he can keep living on.
This would be like the first instance where someone was cloned that's not Boba Fett guy. Right.
Well, that we know in this universe.
Sure.
But
okay.
if
That would have been
Palpatine's
fine too.
all over the place. I kind of like the idea that Palpatine's such a narcissist, evil fuck
Busted a nut.
that he created his own son to be just like him. But his son had some type of he fell in love.
Maybe clones have a hard time carrying on Force stuff or something.
Finn had a change of heart at some point, so. Maybe his son saw the light and fell in love and then had a daughter, and then Palpatine still wants his son back or his bloodline, so he knew Rey is going to be the last Jedi. And so maybe that's what it is.
I don't know. Anything
It's
would
complicated.
There's so many better ways they could have gone about it, but the way that they filmed it and the way this movie was shot, you could tell that it was strung together last minute. Like they had no other. They're like, who do we make Rey related to? The only person left in the entire Star Wars franchise that doesn't have any family or anything, Palpatine.
Yeah.
Palpatine. We gotta go Palpatine.
And I was banking on Kylo and Rey being twins. I was kind of banking on that idea, and maybe people also predicted that. And they're like, we can't have the popular opinion be the thing we need to do. We need to swerve them. So throw in a previous bad guy.
I like that she came from evil. That's
cool.
It's a cool twist. We haven't really seen that. Yeah.
But
I
it was
like that.
it wasn't planned out.
No.
And he had to make it happen in one movie. So it's like, oh, okay, cool.
If they went into this entire trilogy with that idea in mind, like you said, this whole trilogy would have played out completely different.
Can you imagine Palpatine's son and he's like evil as fuck?
It would have been
like
dope,
Darth Maul-esque evil human. Like, dude.
Like another Darth Vader, pretty much.
Snoke was like his main henchman, and then this movie could have revealed himself. It would have been so sick, but the fact that it's just recycled and it's a little fan servicey, but to just go skip his son or daughter and raise the granddaughter, and she was. It's the whole thing. You're nobody because you're somebody, but you can be whoever you want to be. Is what the movie is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you came from. You can be whatever you want.
Yeah, it's a bad precedent for the movie that everybody in this movie that comes to power, Luke Skywalker, Anakin, Rey, were all nothing when their origin, right? They're just dirt farmers. But that's not necessarily true. They come from this bloodline.
That's OP as fuck.
Kings and queens of the masters of the universe. So you really can't just be a nobody. You have to be born into this.
Yeah. I love that was their little cop-out for explaining why she was nobody in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
They're like, you were nobody because you were somebody. It was for your own protection.
They also could have had a lot more flashbacks of Rey as a little girl. They did that typical her screaming that, ah! They did that a lot, but they never really showed. A flashback of her as a child talking to her parents would have been really powerful.
They have that one scene
But
where
they
the
didn't
parents
really
are
do
like,
it.
"We love you. We've got to do this," and then they get shanked.
And then just nothing happened.
They get shanked by the dagger. Oh God. Well, okay. So the movie keeps
So-
going, and Rey's
She's
so
training.
OP, dude. Her and Kylo have a face-off. You seen it where she does the somersault bullshit. She fucking grabs a whole ship
Spaceship.
with the Force, and then
Yeah.
she zapped it, and we were all, I could tell the whole audience was like, oh.
She has dark side powers.
This is kind of, and that could have been a cool thing where Kylo could have backed off and been like, oh, like 'cause he knows it's Palpatine, and that was him like, I got to see this bitch firsthand. Is it true? Because
then
what if he's lying to me?
Yeah.
Because he had the motive, let's destroy Palpatine. So in a way, I was like, this is kind of sick. Like, he knows the secret. Looking back, I was like, he knows the secret. This is him like, I got to see. For real? No. And then zap, and you're like,
Oh
but
shit,
then-
it's real.
but
It's
then
true.
the fake out of Chewbacca,
Was
it's
lame.
like, if
I
you-
really wish he killed Chewbacca.
and if you've seen the trailer, you know he's in the
Yeah.
ship later. So I was
Yeah.
like, well, no. And then Finn was watching.
can we
and he goes-
can we talk about
He goes,
Finn?
look, he goes, Chewbacca's in that
Bruh.
ship. I was like, weren't you just watching? Did you not see the two?
I seen it with my own 2 eyes.
No, that's
He's in that
him.
ship.
You, motherfucker,
So-
you saw there was 2 ships. And
Bitch,
he
you
was like,
thought.
no, he's in that one, I'm pretty sure. And then zap, Chewie. Oh, no, you killed
Yeah.
Chewie. I'd be like,
Dude,
bro, didn't you see it?
If you liked Finn in Force Awakens, you will not like Finn in this movie. Finn is useless.
Dude,
he does nothing. He is
character-
terrible.
Yeah, his character really turned into nothing, man.
There's no motive.
There's
Or
no
for him or
motive.
Poe, really? Poe's like, I'm here to help with the fight, I guess, is they're both things.
Poe upstaged Finn so much.
But they could have
Yeah.
just been one character, and it would have been
Yeah.
way better.
Mhm. That's the problem with these films too. Is I feel like there's too many characters and we don't know their motives. They're like their motivations or what their goals are. So
fight
it's like
the
I
fight.
Just
don't know
good.
who I'm really rooting for.
I'm
It's
just
like,
good.
I'm here
just
to fight.
good or yeah.
Yes.
They're all, I'm here to fight. And I was like, okay,
Why do I
we
care,
gotta stick
though?
together. We got to fight, and we got to stick together. I was like, okay, sure, whatever the fuck. So she's OP, and you're like, damn, she does lightning. What the fuck, dude?
and then you learn she can heal. She heals that worm.
Whoa.
And you're like, whoa.
So
That shit
healing-
was so OP.
Healing's
in
been
this
in
movie.
the video games. I'm
Been
sure
in
it's been in
video
the
games?
comic books, in
It's
the video games.
It's been mentioned. It's never been. I don't think it's been done.
I mean, there's
Not
video
in the-
games
not in
for
the movies.
sure.
Not
But
in
the
the
movies,
movies.
Okay.
Not in the
okay.
movie.
the movies never, right?
Not as far as I'm aware. Not no.
Whoa.
Until this
dude.
movie. Until
I was gonna
this
say
movie.
in the prequels they don't do any heal.
Nope.
No.
Wow, dude. Because I know the video games you do it all the time.
Nope.
You do the big jumps, you do the lightsaber toss, and you heal.
You know what they do?
You do the bubble.
When Luke had his arm taken away, he goes to a robot. They plug him into a thing, and they do the Goku healing tube.
Oh, yeah, he's-
Otherwise,
Yeah.
like,
he's going.
otherwise, yeah. When Darth Vader was all burnt up and cut up, Palpatine could just went.
Luke, yeah, Luke
Oh,
could have
yeah.
healed him.
Yeah,
they
he
could've
could have
healed-
healed
yeah,
him
and
and then
saved
showed
him.
him the light.
But no. So that's why I'm like, this
Yeah.
shit is
Damn,
super OP in this
dude.
movie. This healing shit came out of nowhere.
And J.J. Abrams admits that. I think there's a headline where he's like, I introduce new Force abilities that's going
He
to
does.
infuriate people in this movie.
It's also healing is a plot armor act of convenience.
so
But
Oh,
the
man.
problem with Rey healing, and it kind of fucks the ending, is that she heals the worm, and there's no real cost. It doesn't show that it hurts her anyway to give up this force of life.
She
right?
says, I gave
I'm
up some
tired.
of my life to
Of
heal
some of my life force.
I gave
to
it
he-
some
yeah.
of mine.
And that,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, it's so
That's-
dumb.
but now you got to say it instead of showing it, you know,
How do you
which is
show
always sad.
that?
This is one of those.
Yeah. It would have been kind of cool.
At least, catching her breath or something. She was completely fine after that
like,
shit.
whew,
There's
That
nothing.
force heals tough.
There's
Yeah.
nothing at stake.
'Cause
but-
otherwise, just have Jedis in hospitals all day, just Jesus healing people
Yeah.
like crazy.
So this is one of those examples I was talking about, where when it was happening, and I saw it in the movie, I was fine with it. But then, like, you think back to it, and you're like, dude, that does not belong in Star Wars, just because of how it fucks shit up.
Ruins all the
It
other
ruins
movies.
the
Yeah,
lore.
it's
Ruins
hard.
It
all the
ruins all the
movies.
other movies. So that's why I was just like, in hindsight, I'm like, there's a lot of things I didn't like in this one because of that. But the healing shit, super OP.
And
So
also,
OP.
it goes into those things of plot devices I fucking hate. The one thing I hate in Dragon Ball and the thing in Game of Thrones is resurrection and fucking being able to heal.
Yeah.
It takes away the human component of things. It's like, oh, so everyone's Jesus now,
Yeah.
and I can just cure your blindness with the touch of my hand.
You don't have to fear like anybody dying.
Yeah.
It's just there's nothing at stake.
And now you don't have to fear Chewbacca dying because he's in another spaceship, by
And
the way.
that pissed me off too, because that was such a like cop out. Like, he's just on another ship. He's on another ship. I feel like Pops made a really good point because we were talking about it after the film ended, and we're like, dude, that must have been one of the things that just didn't go over well with the audiences in like the pre-recordings or whatever.
Yeah.
Too
In
brutal.
The
Testing.
test screenings
Screen
or whatever.
testing,
Because like the fact that they brought him back so quickly, it's like we have to fix what we did. People hated that we killed Chewbacca. We have to bring him back. Like,
Yeah.
somehow. I'm like, that's the only way that makes sense. Because why would they do that?
Is he in much of the movie after that?
He's in
Or
Chewbacca is in
he's-
everything.
Okay, so it wasn't like they just
remember
added the scene.
they had to go rescue him because he's in another spaceship.
Okay, so yeah, but yeah,
and
must
he
have
go
not tested
fights,
well.
Yeah.
and then they had to tell. I did like the scene where they tell Chewbacca that Leia died, because then you go, poor Chewbacca. Every one of his homies is just decimated.
Dude, out of all 3 of these like newer Star Wars films, that was the only time where I like actually felt like emotional.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, Chewbacca is the
Yeah.
one that's making me feel emotional right
His
now.
princess.
His
Princess,
like all of his
Han
friends
Solo,
are dead.
Luke Skywalker all died.
Yeah.
I think JJ said his biggest regret is there's when Han died, Chewbacca just walks past Leia and didn't do like any.
Oh,
what's
interesting.
up, bro. I think
Yeah.
he had a regret of that or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Someone's mentioned that, and I was like, yeah, it sounds like something they fucked up on.
Yeah, totally.
Chew would be like, yo, bro, all the history. He's
Yeah.
just like,
Mhm.
he just literally walked by like Goofy. Just like walk by. What happens in the middle of this movie? There's so much, dude. This movie goes to like 16 planets.
So they
our
find out.
review's gonna be a mess because the movie's a mess.
The
It's all
girl,
over
the
place.
girl Boba Fett.
Well,
Who
we
says-
got to talk about
We
the
gotta
dagger,
back
I
up.
guess.
We
So
gotta
they
back up.
find a dagger that reveals
the
the location.
dagger.
Before we
of
even say that,
the
can we-
Necronomicon.
Dagger.
So the plot of this movie is like Justin said, they're trying to find a thing so they can find Palpatine. But in order to find the thing, they have to find a thing that finds the thing.
Yeah.
And then find Palpatine. But it's like
yeah.
on their journey, they just keep running in like hardship after hardship after hardship. They're like so unnecessary. Like them falling into the thing with the worm didn't even need to happen.
Like that led up to show. We had to show her doing a heal ability in a dire situation. It could have easily been more of a sacrifice of Finn in a bigger thing,
Poe
or
gets
something.
shot.
Sacrifice
Yeah,
somebody,
Poe gets
or,
shot.
Not a worm.
or somebody, does something or a cool battle or something. But it's just no. We need to show this mechanic that's going to break the movie later, or else it'll break, and people will be like, "What? I don't get it." So they have to do that, and the dagger. The reason why I could tell, because movies always love the symbolism. It was not just the dagger; it was the dagger that killed her parents.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
did they say that?
Yes.
I didn't
Yes.
ca-
That's
oh,
why when she
God.
grabs it, because they did like the video game, like Fallen Order, where you can look at objects and go, and you like
Oh,
get
you
all
can,
the
like, yeah,
memories.
you can, like, feel their
She
energy or
hears the
whatever.
screams. She goes, "Terrible things have been done with this." I was like, okay, they need a symbol that connect. It needs emotion, so they're trying to do that. And I was like, oh, this is the thing that killed her parents for sure, because she's like scared of it. And I'm like, but it's also the tool to keep the movie going. So I was like, that's why they did that.
Yeah, it
but
makes sense.
it's a cop out.
A
Just
dagger, by the
movie,
way.
Movie 101. Yeah. This
The
shit's
dagger,
so
they can't,
dumb.
they can't read it, so
God.
they need to go somewhere, and then they crack open C-3PO, which could be a moment where you kill
Oh, yeah.
C-3PO in a different way, where you wipe him, but then they're like, all to
They-
do can
they-
just back
He
it
just
up.
had Cloud back
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Just back it up.
Like I said,
What's the problem?
another great convenience. Like, luckily, we can just reboot them. Oh,
Yeah.
thank God!
A
Like,
lot of
nothing at
these-
stake in this
So
movie.
convenient.
A lot of like the C-3PO possibly dying and Chewbacca, I feel like those are all like things that got tested by hardcore Disney
Yeah,
fanatical
yeah, yeah.
Star Wars fans, and they didn't like that C-3PO's dead now.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it had a very emotional impact because
If it
even
shut him down
even
completely.
Poe was like, "Hey man, you need
Yeah.
to shut up." But then like C-3PO has this very emotional thing where this droid's like, "I want to see my friends for the last time."
Got a
And
little
you're like,
choked up.
"Whoa, this droid has like an emotional component to all these characters who are his friends."
Then again, he doesn't know those characters that way. If he turned and
Well-
looked at R2, it would have been better. Someone like he actually knew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I'll let that slide. But then they factory reset him and they upload his last firmware. And
It was
he's
cool when
fine.
his eyes turned red and he spoke in
Yeah,
Sith.
spoke Sith.
Yeah.
I
That
was
was
like,
pretty
yo,
cool.
that's
You're
pretty
like,
sick.
whoa.
C-3PO did something cool for once.
And then what would have
Yeah.
been really cool?
it was
if he
funny when his memory was wiped.
if he was speaking Sith and then he talked to Rey. And then she had like some type of like, whoa.
Oh, that would've been
there's
sick.
There's some like deeper
Yeah.
thing that he's saying. Like he's not supposed to speak Sith. That's such a cool thing.
Yeah.
A forbidden language you're not supposed to know because it's so corrupting.
yeah, but no.
But no,
Just back it up.
Just back him
Just
up.
back it up.
Just back it up.
That little guy was cool, little puppet.
Yeah, the
Working
little
on him.
puppet that was
gnome
funny.
dude.
Fixing him.
Little
Yeah,
gnome
it
was
funny.
cool.
He's
There's
like,
girl Boba Fett, who's just
Poe's
merch.
ex.
Toys.
merch,
Oh, yeah,
cosplay,
toys,
cosplay,
spin-off movie.
There's
Poe.
Spin-off movie.
Poe's gonna have his own movie.
Spin-off
Poe's
movie.
having his own movie.
Dude, Poe and Girl Boba Fett romance spin-off
Big
side
time.
quest
yeah.
before this movie.
Spice running Poe.
Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Spice Girls.
That's why they add all these little characters that have no influence on the plot whatsoever. It makes sense.
You know,
Just
in Force
toys.
Awakens, I didn't really care for Poe in Force Awakens. In this one, I really liked him a lot. But he completely upstaged Finn. Finn in Force Awakens was cool. This one, he's just a fucking waste of time.
useless.
He's
Completely
completely
Yeah,
waste of time.
shouldn't Finn be the one that got promoted to general? All the shit he's been doing, and then Poe's just like, nope, I'm general. By the way, you know what? Okay, fine, I'll let you.
This guy hasn't done anything the whole movie. Come on up here. You can be a general too.
Hey, you guys remember this guy?
Thank you very much.
What's your name again?
Also,
Oh, Finn. Yeah.
Finn.
Also-
FN187 or whatever his name.
we can't forget the Lando.
Lando
And the party.
makes
The party scene was like, I was like, this is
I was
kind of
like,
cool.
it was cool. It was-
What's gonna happen here? And then Lando's like, what's going on, y'all?
Dude, that shit
I
made
was
me
like,
laugh
dude,
so
he's
hard.
hilarious.
Anybody needs a little nostalgia in this piece?
Someone say fan service.
It's just like-
fan service.
Dude, the way
totally.
I gotta stand up to do this shit, it had me laughing so hard because the way he came walking out of the shadows, he said like
From
this.
the desert party? Oh, from Leia death. Yeah.
Was that when it was?
Hey, yeah.
When I thought it was his first reveal when he comes walking out of the dark.
When he reveals himself, he takes the helmet off.
He takes the helmet
Okay,
off. He looked like a bounty hunter. I was like,
Okay.
who's this new guy? This guy's got a sick design. It was like
yeah.
from Fallen
And he
Order,
had a
the disc head
crossbow.
people.
Okay.
Yep.
And then it was Lando. I was like, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, I think it was the second reveal then when he came
When,
walking out. But that shit made me laugh because he came strong with his little pimp walk.
I forget if it was Rey or Poe who's at Leia's dead body going, what do I do? I'm not good enough.
Poe.
And then Lando goes, what's going on?
Yeah, that's what-
I was back
thank
here
you.
in
That's
the
what it
dark
was. Yeah.
the whole time.
Oh, you over there grieving? Let me help you out
You're
there, playboy.
not. Yeah.
He got
Oh,
his money.
And yeah, I was just like, not only that, but I was like, God damn, he's old.
Yeah, he's an old guy, man.
I think I saw somewhere where it said like his like the fact that he came back to play that character is like the longest gap in like cinema history where somebody reprises their role.
That's interesting.
I was like, God damn, young blood.
damn.
Good to see you, Lando.
So they get the dagger. She needs a triangle. The triangle.
The triangle shows you the location of Senator Palpatine.
And there's only two ever made.
Yeah, it's
and
convenient.
Kylo Ren already
How
has one.
convenient.
Also, he puts his helmet. He gets his helmet remade. There's no real
Symbolism
reason
at all.
He could have, and I
Yeah.
said, man, there's so many things that if there was just a dialogue line, or I think Palpatine should have been like, "And what the fuck are you doing without your helmet? People can see your face, which lets them see
Your
into the
emotions.
good of you,
Yeah.
and you need to block that out because if they just had one dialogue line where he's like, you need to mask that shit off again so we can communicate better and I can help you take over. You can't have your people who are serving you see your emotions.
And
he walks in and they have a joke.
yeah,
And he gets the Knights of Ren, which sounds so sick. Those guys don't do shit.
they do nothing.
They do not.
It's just toys.
That's not true.
Toys.
They do a lot of following.
They do a lot of
They
peeking
do a
around
lot
a
of
corner
peeking
and
corners.
doing nothing.
I thought that would have been so sick if Palpatine goes, I'm going to help you take over. You need to get the mask remade. And by the way, here's the top 4 or 5 Sith that I've gathered and trained throughout the galaxy that will be your leading commanders known as the Knights of Ren.
You know what
I
would have
was
been
like,
really cool? You know what would
Yeah.
have been really cool? So Kylo Ren's supreme leader of the Empire. He runs the whole thing. Why not? Why doesn't he have apprentices, Sith apprentices? Why doesn't he start training guys with lightsabers to be fucking Sith lords?
That's what the Knights of Ren
Yeah.
should have been.
That's what it
Yeah,
should have been.
that's
It's
what
just
they should have
cucks
been.
and fucking cokes.
They're stormtroopers.
I don't, maybe even less than because they didn't do anything.
They didn't do anything. God, they look so cool.
They looked awesome.
They're all walking around, all decked out, all black. I'm like, okay, these guys are gonna have. Who's
think-
gonna
and
fight
then-
all these guys at once?
I think one had
then-
like a samurai helmet and it looked really
They
sick.
got an axe. I was like,
Yeah.
They have an
Dude.
axe lightsaber.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really good potential there for that ending fight that they had. Oh man, it was so one-sided on both sides. So first, the Knights of Ren are kicking Kylo's ass, right? Because he doesn't have his saber.
This is the end.
This is the very end. I'm skipping, but yeah, to that point where he gets his lightsaber, he starts cutting their asses up so quick. I'm like, this could have been such a better fight.
Yeah.
It was so one-sided.
That was dumb. It was over way too soon. I was like, well, those guys weren't cool at all. I thought they
no.
were gonna be. I thought Rey would have to
Wish
fight
they
all
would've
of them or
Just
some shit.
merch.
Yeah.
So she goes to the Death Star remains, and there's the other new character, the black chick, and I was like,
Girl Finn.
why did they make
Yeah.
Girl Finn? They should have just made Rose like join some tribe, and then that could have been a rekindling of a, hey, I'm here, I'll help you guys, I remember you guys, but it's just new character. I was like,
Well,
dude, there's no time for a new character in this thing. And she's just like, sup, y'all? Oh, y'all need help? I'm on board.
I'm down.
I used to
I
be
was
in the
like,
Empire.
Okay, all right.
She's down. Okay, she's down. And they're like, we'll leave tomorrow. And then Rey's just OP, just out there riding those waves solo.
Getting
I was
pitted.
like, dude, she's getting pitted by herself. She's so OP. Her and
To
Kylo.
which I said, like, they like, don't go out there.
Oh no, the dagger too. Let's not forget the dagger.
Oh
The
man,
dagger's
With that ding, 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 ding,
that
ding,
actually
ding.
made me facepalm when that happened. I was just
Indiana
like,
Jones bullshit, bro.
I was like, dude, if whoever's holding this dagger, if they literally took one step to the left or one step
can't
to the
see
right,
it.
this shit would not line up, and you would never find whatever that little triangle bullshit is that they're looking for.
How are you supposed to stand right there?
I'm like,
like-
what are the chances? That would never
Bro.
happen.
What if they landed on the opposite side?
Yeah. And I'm like, and hello, guys.
When was it made? Because that would mean that I don't even.
Am I tripping? Didn't the
Oh,
Death
that's a-
Star
that's a
completely
good
blow up?
point.
when was the dagger
That's
made?
a good point. When
What?
was the dagger forged? Pre or after the stars?
Yeah.
The Death Star landed.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good point. But I have another question
It's
too.
like insane that it would match up with debris.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it makes
yeah.
Why
no
not
sense.
like have it be like the circle, the iconic circle on the moon?
Yeah.
But it's like she looks at the
No.
circle and then she goes over to some trash.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so stupid.
I was like, man, you better hope that debris don't wash up on shore or something like
You know,
that.
it
It
should've
moves
been-
even a little
you know
bit.
what,
It should have
should've
been matching the the
No.
sun and the moon and the horizon, and it points you to it. And you're like,
Even
oh,
then,
okay.
it should have just said like, Vader's room. Remember we watched the
Yeah.
first three, and Vader had that room where he'd go in that orb.
Yeah.
It should
Yeah.
have fucking been in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
It should have
yeah.
just been like some kind of inscription that says like in Vader's fucking bedroom,
Yeah.
basically. Because you're always like, what is he doing in that room, anyways?
Mm-hmm.
You kind of want to give some context to that room where, oh, that's Vader's alone time. We leave him alone in there. That could have been like where he talked to
He just
Palpatine.
shits and pisses
I
in
thought-
there.
It's just a
that-
toilet.
That whole premise was stupid where you need the beacon to find the secret planet, but there's only two of them. Is just so dumb.
There's only
It's
two.
so
Conveniently two.
It's conveniently two.
Why not one?
Yeah, and
Why
only
not
Palpatine
one?
has it.
Why not one? And then when she
Only
fights,
Palpatine has it.
and then when she fights Kylo, she could just best him and take it from him, and it could have been this dope
You
thing
know-
where you're like, damn, she fucking bested him.
You know what I thought they were gonna do? You know how whenever they're fighting in like different places or whatever, they can kind of have the little mind shit where it's like they teleport and they can like see where each other are.
They have the vision,
vision,
FaceTime,
the teleconference.
Jedi
yeah,
FaceTime.
the Jedi FaceTime.
Which is,
yes,
I
thank
don't
you.
have a big
I don't have a problem with that.
I hate
That's
it.
what I thought they were gonna use.
I think it's okay.
I hate
That's
it.
what I thought they were gonna use to find out where Palpatine was. That's how I thought they were gonna use that instead of the little triangle beacon bullshit.
FaceTime
Like
Palpatine.
No. Like while Kylo Ren is there with Palpatine,
FaceTime
like
him.
maybe they fit. Yeah, she like does
Oh.
that, and then that's how they find out where he is. That's what I thought they were gonna do.
They do kind of
but-
allude that like even though you FaceTime them, you don't know where they are, right? It's like obscure.
Yeah.
And then like she knocks over the Vader mask, and he
And he
can
goes,
kind of
"Oh,
he can
now I
barely
know
feel
exactly
that.
where you
And he's
are.
like, she's in my room. And that stormtrooper's like, damn, this guy's been talking to nobody over here.
Yeah,
What
he's
the
like,
fuck?
Hey, you need to join the Force. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been watching a
Yeah!
FaceTime. With I was like, I get the FaceTime thing. It's not bad, but jumping to the end of the movie, this is my biggest thing. As we all discussed, was she has two lightsabers at the very end. She goes like this, and it's fucking Looney Tunes, and the guy has it, and Kylo has it. What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made no sense.
Like
They
the healing,
interdimensional pass items through space and time.
healing. I'll take the healing.
It's a stretch, but okay.
As dumb as the healing is, and it's in the video games, I'm used to seeing it, so I wasn't like completely like, oh, okay. But the Diablo item duping, the fucking emailing an item through space and time.
You compress it in zip file, and then you send it through an Ethernet cable
It's
in the
like-
back of your head,
it's like-
and then you have it.
It's like when you're playing Ocarina of Time and Link just goes, "Hunk," and there's a big bomb. He goes, "Hunk," boomerang, "Hunk," map. It's like, dude, what? That part, that's like my biggest, I can't believe that. And that's
was
how the
dumb.
Knights of Ren go, is because he
Yeah.
goes, "Yeah, oh, I got it. I'm connected to Rey." How are you fucking connected? You guys don't even know each other. You're not even related. She goes like this. He goes like this, and he has it. Dude, she should have been talking to Palpatine and been like, "No, I won't join you," and throw the lightsaber down that. They had that little hallway.
Yeah.
And that would have been so cinematically dope. And then you could see Kylo put his hand out, just go clunk and catch it. That would have been grounded in Star Wars reality. But the fact that you Looney Tunes some shit around, dude.
Yeah.
That's what this movie to me is like. Just picture Rey going like this, and then the word just convenient comes out of her hand. Like
convenient, yeah.
Like her hand just goes like this. Like Looney Tunes, like convenient. The word pops up. It's like, how the fuck do you... Dude, that breaks everything. You can just send stuff through space and time.
Yep, nothing works.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Granted,
you have to have rules in this shit. Otherwise, you don't know what can happen.
Granted, that was across a room, but couldn't you just send lights? Couldn't she email items throughout?
Why not? Yeah.
The fucking map to get it? She could have just went and stole his.
Yeah, so when Kylo was looking at the map to the secret Sith planet, she could have just went, yoink.
She could have went into the Force and just grabbed it and then had it.
Yeah.
That is so... Then that's never been in anything. As far as I'm concerned, that's never even been in a video game.
I've never
I don't
seen
know
that.
about the comics, but to completely pull shit out of space and time,
Thin air.
out of nowhere, is right up there with him, Palpatine raising 10,000 Star Destroyers.
As much as I didn't like the idea that there's just these super OP Star
That
Destroyers
was-
laying in the ground, it did look cool to see these fucking
Look cool.
like
It looked
graveyard of Star Destroyers being raised from
Are they-
the dead.
Who made all that
Are they
shit?
working? Are they working underground? What if they?
Why are they all as strong as the Death Star?
You know what? If they at least showed like down below where there's no electricity, he's got a fucking just planet of people who are Imperial people, or like a Fallout 76
Yeah.
underground evil planet.
That would make sense.
And you're like,
I could-
okay, there's a fully working evil planet down below. But oh my god, so much comes out at the end. But I don't know if we missed it. So
we're
the
going
dagger,
over a lot.
Yeah,
she
it's
sees her,
hard to remember.
her evil self. That fight was very short.
Yeah, and she had I called it the crab knuckle buster.
It's all
The-
heavy.
the Nutcracker lightsaber.
which is double-sided.
I hated it too because again, another opportunity for just great potential, man. Right there, that fight could have been so sick. Her and her dark side self. I
Yeah.
thought that really could have been something dope, but instead she just gets in her face and does a little screamer. That shit made me laugh out loud.
It was cartoony.
She had little sharp teeth. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" That fucking Lord of the Rings Bilbo screamer. Yeah. I was like, "Okay."
And if we're going the way of like manipulation and Palpatine's pulling the strings, that could have been a cool thing where they have a dope fight and then get in a clinch and she like blinks and it's Kylo the whole time. And she was
Or
just
that.
seeing herself,
Or that,
evil
yeah.
self in him. And you're like, damn, they've been having this dope battle. She's just Palpatine laugh cues and you're like, oh shit,
speaking
she's
to her.
Yeah.
He is so pulling. He says he pulls the strings, but he doesn't pull enough strings from.
Especially with Rey. Like, he should have been really pulling at her emotionally.
Yeah.
Like, having her echoing the channeling of her voice of her mom to make her go to the
Oh
dark
my
side would
God.
have been really cool.
Make Poe,
Oh, yeah.
make Finn say something fucked up.
Yeah.
And you hear Palpatine kind of, and you go, and she goes, "Fuck, that's not real." Like,
Yeah.
I'm starting to have a hard time deciphering what's real or not. And then that could have opened up a whole bunch of shit, but they didn't do that either. So she has a fight, and then she fights Kylo Ren in a cool wave
It was very
battle.
cinematic.
They're
I like
jumping,
that fight. I
they're
like that
fucking
fight.
doing
I like that
dope
one a
shit.
lot.
And of course, one of my favorite parts, Finn being so useless. Finn's going, "Yay!" And she goes, "Will you just shut up, you nothing character?" And pushes him, and he goes,
Yeah.
I was like, yes, push him
Yes.
some more. He's
Push
so
him in the water.
Nothing.
He's literally trying to stop the movie for no reason.
Yeah, he's trying to stop this Jedi power
Stop.
battle.
Yeah,
Dude,
why?
get off. Why are you here?
I care about you. I have something to tell you.
Yes, finally she pushes
Into the
him.
water. Take
She's
him
like, it's
out.
like total friend zone. Get
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah.
You
You
outta
fucking
here.
dude. You
Yeah,
suck. Like
so
get
weak.
out of this movie. Oof.
Ugh.
And then the other girls are, oh no, and they're together. I'm like, okay, there's
I
those
love
two
that.
characters. So she stabs him, heals him,
So Rey stabs Kylo
Stabs
with his
Kylo.
own saber,
steals the triangle
the
thing,
Necronomicon.
Sure.
and then he talks to his dad, which is like actually kind of emotional. And Adam Driver's amazing.
He's
I
a
was
great
like,
actor.
that was like another up there
Yeah.
with Chewie screaming for Leia. I was like,
That's a good
this is
scene.
a very real scene.
I
And he-
I really did feel him losing the dark side and turning to light at that moment
Yeah,
when he
me
was
too.
talking to his dad.
and he had such a weird like bonding thing with Rey. I don't know, not
He did
really.
He did get force healed So he literally had the light side pumping through him.
Something that Luke could have done to Darth Vader,
And-
but it just
But they forgot about it, I
true.
guess.
they forgot about all that.
But like the idea that she could have just annihilated him. She literally just bested you in battle.
And she says, "I wanted to grab Ben's hand."
Rather than throwing you into the ocean for you to die, I'm going to show mercy on you and heal you.
and at the same time, Leia goes, "Oof."
yeah, she gets
heartburn?
hurt. Yeah,
Oh.
she gets hit.
And I was like, "Oh, they're gonna do this."
Yeah.
So at the same time, where he's like seeing the light from Rey, I guess we're to believe that his mom is
Felt him dying.
influencing him,
I guess.
with light, while he has a memory with his dad. So he's getting it from both sides.
Oh, he's getting spit roasted from his parents.
from the light,
Yeah.
and then he throws a lightsaber. And you're like, okay, I was kind of waiting for this, but
Yeah, I didn't really understand what Leia was trying to do in that scene. It seemed like her and Rey kind of set him up for failure because she's like, now is the time I have to try to reach my son. She said, Ben, right in the middle of that fight and made him look away. I feel like her and Rey were kind of like in cahoots of getting him stabbed. I was like, that was awful timing. And shit. Did Leia mean for that to happen?
I guess so. She knew that it would lead to him accepting the light.
I think he
'cause
also-
she
Yeah.
taught Rey how to heal.
You also need to understand
okay.
that
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ben and Kylo Ren are two different people.
Sure.
I know it's stupid as a plot device, but it is. That's how they wrote it.
Yeah.
Is Ben is somewhere inside Kylo Ren, but Kylo Ren's something completely
Because the
different.
Sith is like a religion. Like you change who you are.
He's
Yeah.
a different
Yeah,
person.
you
so
give
when
up
you
who you were.
killed Kylo Ren,
Yeah.
Ben is still there, and
right.
she spoke to Ben.
So-
That's how I took it.
I was cool with that, and I was like, okay, this doesn't make him a good person, but it gives him a redemption to correct his
arc.
wrongs. But in my opinion, this is like the move where he's like, you know what, fuck it. I'll like, and then he's the thing where, what movie? Not Billy Madison. Is it Billy Madison? I'm glad I called that guy.
Yeah,
He should have had a
Billy Madison.
moment where he goes, pshh, phew, and then leaves. Like, because you're not a good guy.
You
You're
did some
still
bad
someone,
stuff.
you got to like live the rest of your life kind of.
Killed your dad.
Yeah, you can't just be Bill Cosby and go, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm back. It's like, no, you can't be
You
doing
also
stand up
destroyed
anymore.
most of the
You're
galaxy.
Gone. Yeah, you've done some terrible things.
Murdered a lot of people.
So, I mean, then I'm jumping ahead to get to the kiss. Like that, our audience was like in the movie theater was like, no
man.
way.
The
What?
Made no sense.
The guy next to me like pounded on his chair. He was so mad. He was like, I can't believe, no. Like he was legit angry.
Again, like you said, it seems like another thing that didn't test well, or
I
it
think
did
so.
test, or it didn't test. I don't know how
I
that
don't
tested
know.
well
it
with
it
audiences.
felt like a fan service to have these two kiss.
Because you could cut to him fading, but there's like this weird cut where all of a sudden it's a different angle, and then they kiss, and you're like, "What the fuck, dude?"
I was like,
And he can
why?
force heal too.
apparently at the last second. I don't understand why they brought him back just to die again.
But so
Yeah.
she goes to Luke's island because she finds out she's a Palpatino.
She's
Palpatino. She knows I'm a bad. She's like, I'm a bad girl. I'm a bad person.
in their journey to save Chewbacca, Kylo tells her that she's the granddaughter of Palpatine, and then because of that, she wants to do what Luke Skywalker
Give
did
up.
and isolate and not allow her to succumb to the dark side, because if that happens, then this is all fucked.
And then you get J.J. Abrams another fuck you to The Last Jedi, which is the first time a Force ghost has grabbed material things and influenced them. She throws a lightsaber, he grabs
He
it
literally catches it.
and walks over. You're like, okay, so Force ghosts can interact with the world.
They're basically people.
and then he
Okay.
lifts the X-wing.
Yep, he
Oh,
uses the
yeah.
Force.
And that's kind of cool. If Last Jedi was, this is Luke as a grumpy old man, I was like, this could be a cool arc to him becoming good again, which kind of was, but not really. And then here we are. I'm like, so here's the end of his arc. It just wasn't, it was done kind of cheesy and just fuck you to Last
I
Jedi.
did have like during like the final duel between Palpatine and Rey, I thought for a split second that there was going to be ghosts with sabers coming out and
I
fighting.
thought so.
I thought maybe.
I thought we
there
were
was
going
gonna
to
be
see
like
Samuel Jackson get
Yeah.
up next to her, next to
Yeah.
Yoda, next
Yeah.
to Ewan McGregor, next to Mark Hamill,
And
next
push,
to Leia,
you know,
and they're
and-
all going to do a fucking
Kamehameha.
fathers, everybody do it at the same time. Ho!
Yeah, I thought that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they didn't, because it just
yeah.
looked too weird.
Me too. Just like how there were all those Siths in that giant big ass empty room. I thought this could be like an army of Jedi behind Rey. But I love when Luke first came back though, because like you said, another fuck you to Last Jedi when he grab the lightsaber, and he's just like, a Jedi weapon deserves more respect.
That's a fuck you line.
That's a huge fuck you
Big
line,
fuck
because he's
you.
the one that tossed it over his shoulder in the last one.
Like a cartoon.
Yeah.
It was like a gag. Like people laughed in the movie theater when that happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's cool again, and he tells her to. You can be whoever you want to be, even though
Get
you're a
over it.
Palpatine.
But
Get over it.
One of the cooler things in the movie, one of my favorite movies in the moments in the movie was Luke describing training Leia to be a Jedi.
Oh,
That flashback was so cool, and
That was sick.
I was like, as a
Yeah.
little boy, I was like freaking out because I'm like, that is such a cool imagery that they
to
use.
see them. They had the masks on, and he's
Yeah.
like, when I was training with Leia, and you see these two, I'm like, no way that's them. Are they gonna keep the masks on because it's like they
Yeah.
can't show? But then they show CGI young Mark Hamill getting bested by his sister, and then it shows CGI Princess Leia, and you're like, dude, I want to see more of that. That is dope,
Give
dude.
me,
Leia,
give me that series on Disney Plus.
dude. Those two, fucking siblings of Vader training.
Yeah.
Sick.
saving and going probably different planets, probably helping people, you know.
But see, like, as cool as that flashback was, why not do that for Palpatine? Like, show what happened. Show what happened.
True. True.
I'm like, don't do dialogue, because it's always better in movies to show, not to say.
Yeah.
So I'm like, to show Luke, because when you're like, he said it too. He's like, I trained when me and Leia were training. Like, Leia didn't train, and they saw you. Whoa, Leia actually did fucking train out of
Leia was fucking shit up.
bested Luke Skywalker.
And it makes sense out of her training Rey. Like, oh, this is pretty sick. This is a cool twist. That's where the movie got huge points for me too. I was like,
that was the
that's
fan
cool.
service I liked.
That was really cool, and it grounds the story
Yeah.
in some sort of Star Wars
It
reality.
also tied in the other movies too.
Ties in everything, makes sense of everything. The healing still came out of nowhere, but so she is on her way to go.
So
to
she gets the
Palpatine.
Necronomicon. She gets Luke Skywalker's X-wing, which is pretty fucking cool if you know Luke's Rogue Squadron stories.
Puts the helmet on.
She
and
puts it on. She gets in there. She's
plugs
flying,
into Bluetooth,
and
USB drive.
We're skipping a scene, or at least an act where they went to go save Chewbacca, and they land on the Star Destroyer.
Oh, that's right.
And then they find the spy of the Empire.
Oh, the spy! Another fuck you to Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Because in this one, there's all new generals working for the Empire, and they're all like the classic films where they're all like well together, and they're like fire the
Proper
lasers.
Englishman.
Yeah,
that's
they're like
nice and
fire the
proper.
lasers. They're all very calm and
They're
like
not
professional.
calculated.
They're not screaming all their orders. yeah.
They're very chilled, and professional, and that new guy was really good.
He was really good.
The new like leader who takes over from the redheaded guy.
Yeah.
They make fun of the redheaded guy,
Yep.
and the redheaded guy goes, "I'm a spy," and you're like, "Okay." And then Poe goes,
You
"I
would.
knew it," and you're like, "Oh, he goes, shoot me in the arm," shoots him in the dick.
Shoots him right in his face. cock.
Right, it's cock.
And he goes, "I don't want you to win, or I don't care. I just want Kylo to lose." You're like, "What happened?"
That's
Probably-
like terrible
He's probably just been-
I was like, what?
He'd just been
Why?
choked. He'd been choked one time too many. It was like, I hate him. I hate him.
Kylo Ren dropped his pants in front of everybody, and everyone laughed his little space
Ginger
dick.
cock. So he had some beef. So you're like, whatever. And then the new guy's like, "You're a spy." Boom. He's dead.
Blast him.
You're like, cool.
You're like, wow. The last
Erasing-
Jedi got
He not only
fucked.
did he
Erasing the
blast
Last
him,
Jedi.
he didn't even fucking look at him when he shot
Yeah,
him.
he's
He
like,
just
360
fuck
no
that guy.
scoped him.
It's Ryan Johnson. You're gonna erase all the shit I made for Force Awakens. I'm gonna erase all the shit you made.
I'm gonna shoot you right
it
in your
makes the
cock.
trilogy. It makes the trilogy look so stupid.
It
and
does.
Yeah.
Nothing was planned. No
Yeah.
roadmap. Nothing.
Yeah.
So
Nothing.
that's why these movies suck. There's no roadmap. I don't know how you do that with fucking Star Wars. You don't have a roadmap from day one for all three films. You don't have a meeting.
Fuck it, we'll wing it.
No meeting.
We'll X-wing it. Fuck it.
You don't sit down with George and go, let's plan out what are your ideas? Let's come up with something we're all happy with that makes sense and is grounded. So more of this. They get Chewie back.
They get Chewie back, and then they decide to go to the Sith planet. Let's just fast forward to that.
Chewie's
that
even
point.
like, wow, you guys came back for me.
So
So like, yeah, well, yeah.
So
yeah.
when Leia dies, they promote Poe to the new general, and in Poe's first act, he kind of makes Finn his number 2 guy because he has nothing
Isn't
else
this
to
the
do.
very, very end?
This is towards like the end when
Towards
they're
the end.
they're going to attack.
Oh, they're about this is before
This
they
is-
go to the planet.
Yeah.
Everybody
Ray-
goes.
Everybody
Ray's
goes.
on her.
Everybody
because
goes.
Ray's on her way there, and she
Yeah.
leaves the coordinates so
She
everybody
got-
can
she got
follow.
jump
her.
start.
They're like, oh, Luke Skywalker's going there.
But Leia did not Leia. Rey did this thing where she's plotting her thing because she has Luke Skywalker's X-wing, the coordinates to get to the Sith planet.
Yeah, sure.
And so they construct a plan to take out these millions of Death Star Destroyers.
They don't even know that yet, do they? They're just like, let's go.
Well, yeah,
Great. Yeah, they go, and then they show up and they see a million.
And
fuck.
their plan to dismember this entire armada.
And they had a line where they're like, we'll put a line out, and whoever in the galaxy shows up to help the rebellion will help the rebellion.
Up. It's a lifeline.
And so I knew we're
it's
waiting for that moment where they look up and they go, you're not alone. And then Jar Jar's got a ship. This guy's got a ship. Everybody's got a fleet. Everybody who showed up, you're like, why didn't these people ever stand up to the Empire?
That moment would have been way more impactful if they did not say that line. If they just went like, hey, we got to do this now, and then just the entire galaxy shows up out of support, that'd have been way cooler.
Of all the surprises, it's weird they didn't make that a surprise.
Yeah.
Chewie dying, a surprise. It's like, this? No?
Switcheroo.
You don't want to switcheroo this? Yeah. This is like a big pivotal moment.
Yeah.
But so she gets to the planet. It's all cool. We've been here before. You see all the same shit, the statues, the elevators, and the camera. She sees Palpatine, and he's in a big room. Or she sees the throne. No one's in it. Turns around and shows the crowd of Sith.
It's a stadium filled of Sith Lords.
Was sick.
It looked really cool because they're like all cheering.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but even that, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Star Wars is sick. I was like, dude, the fact that it was almost like they made it like a Duel of Fates remix was playing, but it was evil satanic chanting, and you're like, that's so cool. Like that's the idea that the soundtrack for the dope Duel of Fates in this is real evil.
Yeah.
For all we know, millions of Snokes with hoodies on. True. Which actually would have been cool if they showed that they're all kind of Snoke clones.
Sure.
And it was freaks. Like, okay, these are like his freaky like army of the dead, essentially. Yeah. But they went fucking satanic.
It was
evil.
cool imagery.
It was really
cool
cinematography. And he's cool. They got the strobe light on him. He's hamming up his words.
He's saying that you're going to be the Empress, and if you strike me down, my soul will possess Rey.
What is that?
Another thing, I didn't understand what that meant because then she goes to try to kill him in the end anyways. So Siths, I was like, what? I don't understand how this whole thing works. What is up with, is this Palpatine's spirit? The second he dies, he's going to take her over? Then she can't kill him. How does this movie end?
Almost the way I saw it was like, I want to see you get so mad to the point that you kill your grandfather, and that in itself will be such an evil, hateful thing that you will execute that it will succumb you, and then my army will take over and basically force you to be evil and like train you to be a Sith.
So
that's how I kind of took it, but I don't know. It's a stretch even for my imagination.
Is this just an elaborate plot for Palpatine to transition?
I guess so. I guess so, dude.
Let's not assume.
But he says, here's the thing that will happen, and you're doing it as I'm saying it. And you're like, maybe he can kind of... Don't they ever have like visions of the future? Evil visions of the future? The Sith are known for that, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe he's seen this, and he knows that this is what it takes for her to become the new leader.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's definitely a thing, that you get to be a Jedi ghost or a Sith ghost. Well, if you kill that person, I don't know what that means. Like, strike me down and I live in you. I don't know what that means, if that's a real, tangible Star Wars thing.
Maybe it's a metaphor thing.
Yeah,
being like, if you do this, nothing of me is actually going to go inside of you, but by the act of you committing this hateful act will tip you over to the dark side, and thus I will live through, my legacy.
By the logic of this movie, it is a real thing.
It means an actual spirit will come into your body.
He starts doing some, because now with healing and the linking between souls that Kylo and Rey have, which is stupid, the fucking duping items, he does force. Okay, well,
Kylo gets there to try to
Kylo
save
shows
Rey.
up, and you're like, of course,
he gets.
And he has a blaster.
Oh yeah.
And like, you dummy, why'd you get rid of the lightsaber?
And then that's when he gets worked by the Knights of Ren. And then
I heard people say the reason why he didn't keep his lightsabers because it was red, and in that fight scene, you would have been confused.
Sure.
Okay.
So he brings up blaster and he sucks with it because he doesn't.
Sucks. Yeah.
Well, he's actually he could use the Force to bend the bullet or whatever.
Yeah,
he's kind of good, wasn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't doing much of that. Yeah.
But then the Knights of Ren show up. You're like, yo, this is gonna be it. She dupes item.
Dupes and dead.
He gets it. He gets rid of them in a minute.
I just thought that was so dumb. They should have either put up more of a fight, or he should have put up more of a fight without his lightsaber. It was just so quick, one and done, and I hated that because
That's why
they were so cool looking.
I keep trying to think, what would I do? I don't know. I almost want to imagine like the Knights of Ren got him on the ropes, and he throws his lightsaber and kills Palpatine as they like kill him or something, and then she has to fight the Knights of Ren. Or I don't know. Like I feel like something.
I would have
else.
made the first half of the movie less complicated to give the second half of the movie, which is so dense with so much new information.
They're flying.
That you want to see
more time to kind of be flushed out. Because
no
I feel like they got
scenes.
rushed. They're like, we can't make this a 3.5-hour movie. We
That's what I'm
cannot do it.
saying. The
They
little
fucking should have all the stuff they had explained though.
Yeah.
My God,
I agree.
Maybe it would have helped.
I agree.
yeah.
But yeah, so he gets taken. He takes care of the Knights of Ren so
Pretty
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
once
he-
he gets the saber.
Then he walks over into the giant throne room where they're
stadium.
chanting, and he's saying all the evil shit, and then he does force suck.
Yeah, Palpatine. does some little
Palpatine
force suckage.
is
Ultimate
Another
suck.
their life.
new
So,
force move. Has that ever been done?
Sucks his own
Anti-heal.
daughter, by the way.
So
His
he does,
own granddaughter
he does
sucks her dry.
anti-heal.
Yeah.
He does the opposite of heal.
Yeah, which is me taking the life
So-
force out of you.
His zombie fingers get good. He gets a
Return.
nice red velvet shirt. His hair looks better. His forehead's crazy again.
Less-
His eye, he could see now.
Less under the eyes darkness. He's really exfoliated.
He's got the red eyes again.
Yeah, he looks cool.
That-
he actually looks really cool.
the unlimited
The
So,
red vest, Palpatine looks
The
really sick.
powers and the mythos of Star Wars is at an all-time. What is going on?
Yeah.
We're peak power right
But
Oh,
now.
at
man.
the same time,
don't
you're like,
get it.
we have to be along for the ride because how does this end?
Yeah. Yep.
This is insane. What's going on? You're like, where did all these Star Destroyers come? What's underground? What the fuck's going on? He's force sucking them. They're going, he's
And they just pass
sucking them
out.
dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sucks them off.
And then he does lightning.
And then he yeets Kylo Ren out of the way. And he just goes,
Yeah, he puts
you
him
guys
into a
yeeted
hole.
me,
Yeah, he
so
puts
now
him into
I
a hole.
yeet you.
Yeah.
I got yeeted, so you'll
Yeah.
be yeeted. And I'm
So
like,
ya yeet.
but dude, when you got yeeted, what happened with you? You're still alive.
I came back.
I came back.
So why are you gonna yeet somebody if you know this happened?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
plot.
This
Yeah.
happened to
Shut
you,
up, shut
dude. What's down in that hole? You're gonna
Yeah.
throw him in a hole.
It's not
You
that
know
bad.
he's gonna come back.
It's not that bad.
Yep. And guess what he does? He comes
comes
back.
back.
Of course he does.
But while he's down there, yeah, Palpatine goes, Rey, you have to strike me down. And she goes, no, I refuse. And then the fucking roof opens up
Oh,
and
just
she sees
spirit
all
bomb,
Yeah,
EMP.
And so she sees everybody, all the resistance fighting the Star Destroyers up top in the sky and everything. And Palpatine goes, I'll kill everybody if you don't do it. Hey ya! And this fucking giant Thor like
Yeah.
sound effect was cool.
Mjolnir.
Sound effect was dope. The theater went
big
quiet
ass-
and it was like,
yeah, this big ass just
It looked
like,
real.
EMP of lightning comes out of the Palpatine. And
and
he's
for a
just,
minute I was like, dude, sick. He's gonna kill all that
That's
shit
what I
up
thought.
there.
I was like, holy shit. I was like, they're fucked. And then it just short circuits the ships apparently. And they're just like, oh no,
We're stalling.
We're stalling a little bit. I was
Everyone's
like,
okay though.
I was like, wouldn't that instantly blow up all of those ships? up there?
R2D2 head which would have popped off.
Yeah.
oh yeah, he's just screaming. Everyone's just like, oh no, we're stalling.
So-
The electricity's on the fritz.
Literally, the story was stalling at that point.
The story was stalling.
But
So-
man, if he made them all blow up, that
It would have been an
That power
insane
scaling.
peak of power.
It was too much.
insane, dude.
That last like 5 minutes, I was just like, dude, Palpatine is so OP. Why did he not do all this from the beginning? Just shut up, Rey. Shut up, Kylo. Chuck both their life force and just
if
from
this,
the very beginning.
if this is actually how it works, they should have just said Palpatine. Just have Sith Lords, have the Knights of Ren bring him people, suck them off dry,
Yeah.
and then to get him up on this, get him on a spaceship, take him on a balcony, go take out that planet. He can just go and fucking blow up a whole planet with his
Yeah.
own hands.
That's what I.
And
That's
I was
what
like,
I'm saying.
dude, this guy's way too strong. So he does an EMP,
So when that happened, I was like,
Short-lived.
I'm done. I was like, he's too strong.
and
now.
I was like, the whole time I'm thinking, dude, if this guy pulls out a lightsaber and starts fighting her, it's gonna be so cheesy looking because he's old.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like when Yoda fought. It's like kind of
Yeah.
cheesy. You're like,
I didn't think he was gonna
oh
do
man.
that.
I was like, please don't let this guy start fighting Rey. But how is this gonna end? Is she gonna do lightning to him? I
Kinda.
was like,
That's what I thought.
and then so yeah, you get all this Jedi of all time talk to her and say, "Get up, we're with you."
Yeah, stand up.
I thought ghosts were gonna be there with her.
Do you guys know what triggered the Jedi finally talking to her? Because the whole movie, she was like, I hear nothing.
It's the
won't."
one time they were with
Yeah,
her
they're
when
like,
she
oh,
asked.
no, we here. We were just asleep. No.
Again,
I'm like, how
convenient.
convenient.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
luckily.
you hear Mace Windu, you hear
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor, you hear everybody.
So she
Yoda.
gets up.
We're alone, you are not.
Stand
up, you will.
So she gets up.
And then he's like, "Oh, well, now I'm going to kill you because I've ascended you." The Palpatine's like, "Oh, I've sucked so much of your force out of you. I'm now more powerful than you. And you're the last Jedi, and I'm going to kill you."
And when he yeeted Kylo dropped the lightsaber, so she gets 2.
I don't remember.
I forget, but
because
she had 2.
It's
She
been a
had
minute,
2.
but
'Cause she does
eventually
the
she has 2.
I was like, she's got 2. I was like, what is she gonna do? This could be kind of cool or
I thought she was
really
going to
lame.
throw it.
That's what I thought too.
I thought she was going to throw it.
Like the old, like what they did to Snoke. Like, look over
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
and then throw that one off, and he goes, and chops his head off from
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
But she does a cross.
It
and
gives her double strength.
He hits her, and then she does what Mace Windu couldn't do, which was, remember when he gathered the lightning with
push
the
it back.
lightsaber?
Oh, yeah,
and he's like, "You motherfucker, this is wrong!" And then he just yeets him. But she had 2 lightsabers, so she
Yeah.
was able to yeet it
Push it
back,
back.
at
Double
him.
that
the lightning back at him.
That was not cool.
That was I was laughing too because he starts like lightning himself in the face and shit. I was like, at that point when you just stop,
Yeah, just turn it off.
Once you nut, you can't stop.
Yeah. Yep.
she keeps
Force
sucking.
nut.
She keeps sucking.
Palpatine nuts yet again. He's nutting himself
He
to his
nutted-
own
oblivion.
death.
He nutted himself to death.
But again, like, if you could change that, what would you have done in that room with Palpatine and Rey?
They would have done force lightning to each other. She would have had no other option. And then, like, maybe she kills him and she ends up being stronger.
You
and
do
then
the
she
father.
dies because she used it. And then that's when Kylo Ren comes the fuck up and brings her back to life.
Either way, Kylo comes up.
Kylo. Well, after
They-
she pushes the lightning back, she's so exhausted from this epic duel that she had with Palpatine,
And-
she falls down
And all
dead.
the ships are malfunctioning now because he's dead.
I guess we got to kind of explain the Armada's attack. So when like Poe
this is
tells his
dumb.
army,
Oh, yeah.
Just shorten it because it's stupid.
yeah, I'm gonna
They
make
stopped
I'm gonna make
working.
it. I'm gonna make it
They
really
stopped
short.
working because the antenna's broken.
So they figure out, in order to stop all this, we need to turn off the router. And so they go and they blow up
Legit.
the router, but
Legit.
then the Empire's like, "Oh, just make this one ship the new router." And so they go, "Okay, attack the new ship," and they kill that ship, and it pretty much turns out.
and that new general guy got yeeted too.
Yeah.
That new
Oh,
evil.
yeah. Yeah,
He
the
gets
ship
blasted.
blew
Little
up.
body go.
He just goes, Wow! He just
Well,
gets blasted out of the ship.
I did my best. Dude, like we
Yeah,
laughed when we saw his
laughed
little body
hard.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see him get yeeted. So yeah, Kylo comes up.
So, yeah.
Rey's passed
Dead.
out, dead, white, ghostly white skin, dead from holding
All
2
the-
lightsabers.
from the
I
ultimate,
guess.
she put everything she had into him, plus being force sucked.
I like that idea you had where they do lightning almost, but even though lightning's supposed to be evil, that's the only thing that's stopping it.
That's what I like, though, is that she didn't even mean to do it the first time. Like, she's just trying to fight him, and she happens to do it again.
That's the Palpatine in her.
Yeah, it's
It
just
kinda would've
it
been
comes out, so that's
Okay.
that's the only way she's able to
so
beat
almost
him
like
because
using
she's
dark,
as strong.
using dark to kill dark.
She has to, yeah.
So I would have liked it almost. I would change it a little bit. So she does lightning to him, and they have a fucking Dragon Ball Z blast going back and forth,
A little
and then
power
they
beam
have
struggle, yeah.
all the ghosts do
Kamehameha.
the fucking Goku Gohan. All the ghosts go like this, but then it's like all the ghosts
That's
are
too
doing
much,
lightning is
yeah.
too much.
I think the reason why they didn't do that
What
is
about what about instead of lightning, she's force pushing him against the wall, and he's like against the wall, and he's trying to zap her, and then like fucking Mace Windu goes yeet, Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor go yeet, fucking little Yoda goes yeet, and they fucking push him so far into the wall he like gets
Yeah.
crushed or something.
If she was like doing lightning and then like the good in her, like the Jedi's behind her, forced her to do like a stronger push or something, that would have been sick too.
Maybe
Yeah,
a
would've been
strong
dope.
force push.
Maybe it's just stronger. Yeah.
I kept trying to think, how would I change it? Because I'm like, it's so tricky. How do you end this thing? And like, given what they had, I'm like, oh man, what would you do different?
I
Like,
would have had Rey strike down Palpatine, and she becomes dark for the moment because she's so sick of this guy in her head telling her all this stuff and the stuff that he did to her parents.
she actually gets pissed and kills him.
She kills him, and then for that moment, she succumbs to the dark side, and then Kylo Ren, Ben's redemption arc kicks in.
Oh, okay.
He knows what Rey's true potential is, and he does not want her to go down the same path that he did.
That makes
And then
more
they
sense.
would have had that moment where they duel now Rey's dark side, Kylo Ren's light side, and it's
White
through
side.
Switch roles.
That. Hey, it's the right side.
Switch roles.
And then through whatever Ben's sacrifice, she returns back and overcomes the dark side. I think that would have been much more
That would have been
interesting.
interesting.
That would have been interesting because, like, in the same movie, you get the reverse battle.
That would have been kind of cool, actually. Yeah. Damn, all
Yeah.
these ideas, like, I would love them to fucking explain some of these alternate stories before you go into this.
Anything
But-
other than what actually
But
happened.
I
and
know during the production of this, they're like, we cannot, except for this one moment, we cannot have Rey do dark side things because they want this weird lore
Just to
of
be
like
good.
the ultimate pure light side, right? And even though for the fact that she had that lightning for a moment just gives you that tinge of, oh, she is related to Palpatine in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if she did do Force Lightning again, it'd be like, that's too much dark side for her. We can't have her go that way. I think that's the reason why. But from a gripping story narrative, I
Yeah.
think having someone go to the dark side and then come back is very symbolic and
Pretty
very cool.
Pretty
I mean,
insane
it's
how
a-
much power stuff's going on this compared
It's
to the first trilogy.
insane.
4, 5, and episode 4, 5, and 6.
my
yeah.
God.
This is
Power
Dragon Ball
scaling.
Z, the movie. This was
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z shit. 100%.
Endgame for sure.
So Kylo comes up. She's passed out. He
Dead.
heals her. And it's like, oh, it's so hokey, dude.
Yep.
And then they kiss, and the whole theater goes, no.
People
What?
like
Not
people,
even.
People moaned, audibly moaned at that moment when they kissed because it didn't make sense.
This guy is little Hitler.
Yeah.
And you're kissing him? You want to fuck him?
Oh,
You want to
man.
bust a nut with this dude?
You guys
Why
were
are you kissing?
You guys were trying to kill each other
And-
not too long ago.
she-
I could see a hug, like
she
a
Maybe a
respect,
hug.
but a kiss, a
she
romantic.
kisses
Yeah,
him,
she
a
kissed
romantic
him.
kiss.
She wanted a romantic moment with him that just does not work at all. And you
Maybe
could feel
they-
it. The whole audience of the theater was like, "No, there's
I feel
no
like
chemistry."
the entire trilogy, their whole connection has been force based, not like romance based. So it's like it just came out of nowhere.
But women love those bad boys,
Yeah,
I
and
guess.
guys,
All black.
Guys, if you want to, really, get good with someone, just save their life, and you're in, dude. You will
It
get
doesn't
any
matter
chick.
how many people you beheaded.
Just resuscitate them back to life.
Just
and
save
you're
their life.
In, dude. You're in.
But what was so bad about that moment was the fact that Kylo Ren dies immediately after
Ooh.
kissing her on the same scene. No cut, kiss and.
It made me, dude.
He died.
It made me so
The
mad.
kiss means nothing.
The death kiss.
It means nothing.
It was
It
the
meant
death kiss.
nothing,
She
dude.
force sucked it right out of his lips. He
Women-
went,
women, am I right?
Yeah. I was like, dude, they legit brought him back to life just so he could die for no reason.
"Oh, that sounds so bad when you
That's
say it." And
so
it's exactly what
annoying.
happened.
It's so annoying.
Brought him back so he could die again.
For nothing.
And she's like, "Oh," and he turns into a little fart.
He farts.
And then it cut to Leia, who the whole time I was like, why are they putting a blanket over her? Shouldn't she do what Luke did and turn into a fart? She finally turns into a fart. So that leaves me to believe this whole time from the point he got stabbed and healed on the waves to now that he saved Rey, he's been sort of semi-possessed by his mom to be good. And now that he's finally dead, she can turn into a fart. And she goes, the blanket goes, and he goes, so I'm like, okay, so the whole Han, Leia, the family is just farts.
They're all farts.
They're all
now.
farts.
Except Han, he's not.
Han's actually dead.
He's a memory.
He's
He's not glowy.
Poor Han.
No, he's
but he could
just
show
dead.
up. He could show up once in a while
As a memory.
as a memory, with bad hair.
Oh, man.
Very bad hair.
It was rough because it was a touching scene, but he's, I love you, son. I love you, and it's okay. I forgive you.
Dad, you're comb over.
Dad, please.
So he's a fart. Leia cuts to Leia real quick. She's a fart.
Then she kind of gets up and like, well, that happened.
Rey's like, okay.
I need to get out of this.
I need to
Sith
get out of this
Lord
weird.
area.
And all those little guys who were chanting got crushed.
Yeah, they got blown away from the impact of the
All the Snoke
lightning.
clones.
Yeah.
All the
Oh,
hooded
yeah.
Snoke clones,
yeah.
probably. Whatever those were, they all got destroyed by rubble. And she's okay.
Of course.
And she
done,
kind of walks out.
Walks out, walk
She
of
just-
shame.
She just walks out.
Walks out and flies back, and everyone's
Celebrates
you
the
see
victory.
Ewoks. Louis got real happy with the Ewoks.
Yep, they showed Chewbacca finally getting his medal.
Chewbacca got
Fan service, by
Oh
the
my!
way.
That was like the biggest fan service I think I've ever seen in any movie
Chewbacca
ever.
got
A medal.
A medal.
But was it someone's medal that died?
I think it was the same medal that,
Han's?
Luke and Han got in episode 4.
So it was either Luke or Han's medallion.
I think if I were to interpret it, I don't
Leia
remember.
didn't get one,
I
right?
think it was one of those things. Well,
Leia
she
gave
gave
it.
it to him because she's royalty.
Yeah, she gave it to him.
I think it was like the symbolic thing that happened in Episode 4. It wasn't. I don't think it had much meaning other than he's getting
That
the
was when
recognition.
Louis goes, Chewie got a medal.
Louis actually clapped.
Yeah,
Chewie got a
yeah,
medal.
he did.
It's his favorite
because that's
character.
why they did that, right? Because in the old ones he never
He
did,
didn't
and it was
get
like a
one.
little meme. They're like, Chewie never got his medal.
Just a dog.
So
Yeah.
they actually put that
Luke,
in the film
Han,
because
Chewie.
of a meme. That
Yeah.
blows my mind.
Yeah, fan service.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy fan service right there.
Everybody's happy. Everybody celebrates.
They all
and then
hug.
They all hug. There's a short kiss that everyone was saying was a big.
Oh, the lesbian
thing.
kiss.
It was so nothing. It cuts away. It was like a second, and then it cuts away some characters that weren't even main characters, and then it cuts away, and she's going to Luke's. What is it? The moisture
Uncle
farm.
Ben's moisture farm.
Uncle Ben's moisture farm.
Okay.
She goes there, which makes no sense. But
I think she wanted to give a
Then
proper
again-
burial for
Sure.
Luke.
then again, she had no origin, so she had to go somewhere, and then she
True.
makes that her origin. She sees Leia and CGI Leia and Luke ghosts go. And that old lady in the desert, it's been thousands of years. Yes, who are you?
here.
There's no moisture.
Why would you want to farm these? There's no moisture.
Oh, and she did force hole.
Yeah, she forced Doug. It was very effective.
She force buried.
That was so weird. I'm like, even if it was a push, like, what if she stood up and went, ho, and like made a hole? But she just goes,
If she went like this and like the sand like opened up or some shit, that would
Yeah.
look cooler. But it was just
so she buries the lightsabers, and then she takes her homemade one that has a switcheroo.
Oh, she made her own.
apparently she made her
Yeah,
own.
She made her own.
and it is at the end of her stick. That's what it looked like.
I thought it was a lightsaber.
Oh,
I could have been wrong. I mean, it's been a
you
while.
know her stick. She keeps carrying around
her
that
fucking
stick.
dumb stick.
Her stick with a strap on
Can
it.
you pull?
Yeah.
Can you type Rey's Rey's
Staff?
Star
Rey.
Wars Rey's stick? Because it looked like she put the lightsaber that she made on the end of that staff.
It could be.
I don't remember that.
Pull up like that one of those pictures that shows it like up close. Doesn't the end of it look like that thing she turns at the end?
It could be.
It looks like a lightsaber at the end, but I doubt that it is.
I don't know.
But she didn't. She's not going to do anything with it.
No, they didn't
so
show
who the fuck
her
cares?
with it.
Yeah.
But
But they did show her with her own
Spares
lightsaber
it.
now because
Made
you know
one.
you got to sell more toys with the different colors.
Gold saber.
Mm-hmm.
and then the lady goes, "Who are you?" "I'm Rey Skywalker." And then she's like, the old lady's like, "So,
Who?
my name's Deborah Johnson. What do you want?
What of it?
What the fuck?"
What makes you so special, bitch?
And then she walks away.
And then the movie kind of ends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And the one thing I was like, at the end of this, I'm like, well, what did Finn want to tell her? I
that pisses me
I really
off.
wanted to know what
They
Finn
had a
wanted to tell
three-way
her.
hug at the end.
Do you
Yeah.
know that J.J. Abrams had to actually like clarify what he wanted to tell because people were so mad that it never got resolved.
What'd
And
he say?
He
What'd
was
he
going to
say?
tell her that, "Hey Ray, I'm force sensitive now."
Oh my God.
That's what he was going to
No.
say. That's what he was
They
going to say.
did have that moment where he goes, "It's in that thing," and the girl's like, "How do you know?" He goes, "I could feel
It's
it."
a
I can
feeling.
feel it.
Because there was that one scene where he did have a lightsaber for a second.
Yeah,
but
in,
sure,
Force Awakens.
everybody
Yeah.
could use the Force.
Again, I'm like, oh, how convenient that this non-Jedi is force sensitive.
Can't they always feel that in each other? Wouldn't she ever look at him and be like, "Yo, you got a
Yes.
little something on you. You got a little force on your
Wouldn't
face."
they also have a connection like her and Kylo Ren? Yes.
You know what would have been funny? It's like, you know when you self-diagnose a disease, you'd be like, man, I think I have, some type of, disease. And then talk to a doctor's like, no, you do not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm force sensitive. Nope.
I think
No.
I can. I just
No,
have a
you are
feeling. No, that's not the
Nope.
force. You just have diarrhea. You got
Nope.
shit.
No,
Rub
I
it in
have
your
a
stomach.
feeling.
No, I can feel it in my tummy. I got
All
gut
right, if
feeling.
you have a feeling, why don't you do something? Aw. Finn does nothing.
They should have not. Don't make him be force sensitive.
I'm
That's
kinda glad they
so
did not do that.
dumb, dude. And when he goes, it's up in that tower. I can feel it. He should have said. He should have said.
I
He
get it.
100% should have said, "It's in that tower." How do you know? Because I used to work in that fucking tower
I
when I
used
was a stormtrooper.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the girl was she used to be a stormtrooper too. They could have like
Had
hit
a
it
moment
off
where
on
they
that
knew?
moment. But no, at the end, she sits there and she goes, Lando, where are you from? He goes, I don't know. Where you from?
Oh, yeah, he slid in the
Oh,
DMs on
dude.
that
He goes,
chick.
"We
He
gonna
cucked
find
Finn.
out."
He
Dude,
cucked
Lando
Finn, dude.
cucked Finn so hard. He's
I'm
like,
force sensitive too.
oh, yeah, you want to find where my force is?
Yeah, I got force push and pull.
He said, where's your home at? She said, I don't know. He said, it's my home.
We gonna find it.
I'm going
We
to make you an
find
origin
it,
story.
baby.
We gotta stick together.
So I think I know why if that J.J. Abrams thing about being force sensitive was real, because they could do a Finn spin-off where he becomes a Jedi.
Jesus Christ.
And guess who trains him?
Yep.
Easy money, dude.
Easy cash,
Easy
baby.
money, baby.
Easy cash.
I don't know. At this point, just Mandalorian. That's it.
Oh, no.
I need to
want
watch the
anything
rest of
else.
it. I need to-
Mandalorian got really good again. The episode, I think it was chapter 7, where
So-
Gus from Breaking Bad shows up. I think it was.
So
It's
now that
awesome.
we have all this new force meta, right? Does that make Baby Yoda even more potentially scalable, like crazy?
Oh,
Baby
he's-
Yoda kinda
Baby's going
started
to be nuts, dude.
Baby Yoda started it. He did
Yeah.
Force heal.
But that's what I'm saying. If that's just the beginning of the new meta, he could potentially resurrect the dead.
I'm so hung
Yeah.
up on the Force heal thing because it's been in video games since we were kids, but it's never been in the movie.
When
Never showed it.
has it been in the game?
Dude, I remember playing Jedi Power Battles,
I
and
think
that
they
was your
have
way
it,
of healing.
I think they have it in Knights of the Old Republic.
Really?
I think they do. I got to remember, but
But
pretty
Baby
sure they do.
Yoda, like watching it, me as someone who's played the video games, I'm watching. I'm like, I think we had Phantom Menace, and you could heal. You could Force heal in that game.
Okay.
And I remember watching the Baby Yoda, and then Mandalorian's trying to fix
heal
his
his thing.
wounds, and I'm like, as a viewer, I'm like, oh, he doesn't know, but I know that Baby can heal. So was everyone who only has seen the movies going, the fuck's the Baby trying to do?
Just trying to touch him.
Because I was like, I know you can heal, but they never do in the movies. And I never thought of that until now, but then it takes away what Luke could have healed his father.
Yeah.
It takes away from, how did Qui-Gon die?
he got stabbed just like Kylo Ren did.
Yeah.
I
But
think actually same exact spot.
Could have healed him.
Yeah.
You could have he could have healed everybody, dude.
True.
Yoda,
That's
when
what
he
I'm
was
saying.
dying, Luke could have been like, woom, woom, give him some more time.
And I would imagine
Yeah.
if anyone could force heal, it would have probably been Yoda.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, for real.
Could have healed the fuck out of
Yeah.
somebody.
He probably. They could have done that Order 66 or whatever the fuck could have really been changed from the meta that we learn now. It's like you could just dupe stuff. You can
Oh
just
my God.
teleport. You can just
man,
force
yeah.
heal. You can.
So weaponized light speed, and now you can heal everything, and you can dupe items across space and time instantaneously to someone who you are connected with. Which,
mean,
why are they connected? They're
yeah.
not
Don't
related. They're not
understand.
nothing.
They're nothing.
I guess they're just the
Horny
last.
for each
The
other.
last of their kin. They're the last Sith and last
They want to
Jedi.
fuck.
If that's the case, I got a bunch of connections with some girls out here.
Palpatine was busting nuts, dude. I
the
find that so hard to believe. Who did he fuck?
Yeah.
Who did he fuck? And how come they they walked right over
And
his
Sith can fuck.
his son?
Sith can fuck. No, Jedi's can't. Jedi's are just a bunch of white knights, but Sith can. They can plow ass.
Siths get it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love how they just skip a generation and then just go straight to Rey. And
That's
you have to take over. What happened to your
convenient.
son?
I would have much
Convenient.
rather have said, let's not do the female Boba Fett, the waste
Okay.
of time
Yeah, yeah.
thing, and let's just have a scene that explains her parents. And that could have been sick as fuck.
this is the
and
point I
she
was
could
try-
have had like repressed memories of being like a fucking evil Sith baby.
I thought
Yeah.
a cool
and
idea.
and then you get a scene where Luke is sort of like Obi-Wan in the desert watching, or where Obi-Wan is in the desert watching Luke from afar.
Mm-hmm.
You could have had this thing where like maybe Rey was like an evil fucking baby being raised by a Sith family, and then
Darth Maul.
they were defeated by Luke. And now Luke sort of watched her and sort of led her on a path to be not so evil, gave her a shot, dumped her off on some planet, maybe watched her from afar, but I guess he did that with Ben. He tried to train Ben, but Ben had evil in him.
Yes.
I forgot that scene from Last Jedi. So back to my idea. Could you watch 7, skip 8, watch 9? You can't because you don't know what happens to Luke and you don't know what happens to Han. But other than that, yeah, you could. You could. You could totally skip
Han
it.
dies.
Han
in,
dies in the first one.
Han dies in the first Force Awakened, right? Yeah.
Or Han dies
yeah.
in the first
In
one.
the first one.
Oh, okay. So only
just
Luke.
Luke.
It's just
Yeah.
Luke.
It's just
Oh
Luke.
my god, dude! The
And-
casino
Oh,
stuff,
man.
all
Yeah.
that you could
All
just
that.
skip
You don't
it.
need any
Yeah.
of that. No.
Because honestly, the stuff with the light speed doesn't really matter.
No.
That doesn't really matter.
No.
Not really.
No.
Crazy.
Not even a cool toy from that girl.
Yep.
Who wants the toy of purple hair?
Also,
Who wants that toy?
Also, what happens to Snoke or whatever? You would be like, well, what happened to that guy? Nah, he's just a.
But
he's
in
just
this,
a clone.
That's one of the
in Force
first
Awakens,
things.
he was a message.
Yeah.
So in this one, if you skipped 8 and 9, he would have just said, "I've been controlling," and it's just it was just a thing.
And Kylo Ren goes, "I killed Snoke," like under his breath in like one of the scenes too. So you'd be like, "Oh, there you go. Okay, that's
just
what
killed
happened.
him.
I
He
killed
just
Snoke.
died.
He's dead.
But yeah,
He's dead."
they don't even need to say that because it was a telegram or a voice video message of a Snoke thing, and then you see Snokes are in test tubes. You'd be like, "Oh, that guy wasn't even real. That guy was just a fucking
projection of a monstrosity.
But I
Why
mean,
did
did
they
it
need
even
multiple?
have to be? Did it even have to be? I mean, it could have just been Palpatine since Episode 7.
See, these
And
are the
that would have been
things-
sick if Kylo Ren is always just you hear the laughter of Palpatine, and it would have been built up over 3 movies. The fact that Palpatine's still out there, and you're like, what the fuck? Is he just like a evil Force ghost living and telling Kylo to be evil? I was like,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, there's so many other ways you could have done this, but it's tricky trying to end this shit.
This is the point
with
I was
what it
trying
had.
to-
That's why I gave it a 7.
yeah.
This is the
'Cause-
point I was trying to make, though, that like at first, when we first saw it, the movie seemed great, but the more and more I think about it, I'm just like, dude, that does not belong in Star Wars. Like, if Palpatine has a son, why did he ever need Darth Vader, dude? Like, why? You know what I mean?
Well, Vader
Like-
was walking just behemoth of a,
He's
just
good.
a badass.
He was
Okay,
he
but
was
like
ahead
the
of the game.
the fact that like Siths always have their apprentice, right? Wouldn't you just grab your son as your
Well,
apprentice?
so-
needed to explain it.
So
man.
typical Sith lore is the Sith master raises their apprentice, and traditionally what happens is the apprentice
Kills
takes
the
over
master.
the master, and
Yeah.
then they become that. And maybe Palpatine was, a little ahead of the curve, be like, I know Vader is an incredible badass with the Force, and he's going to want to take my throne at some point. Now that he has a son, he can have his new apprentice, and then now he doesn't need me. So maybe he was always ahead of the game, pulling strings and trying to get, that way. But I just, it's so. I think the major problems that I had with this movie boil down to the major problems with The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
They had to resolve so much weird shit that they had to
so
just
much
throw it
stuff,
into
yeah.
this movie.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of things that we're complaining about happened because they had to happen.
Yeah.
So much unnecessary stuff just crammed into this movie.
But yeah, I'm down for just Mandalorian at this point, dude. Like, this shit was it was so awkward to not plan this from day
Yeah.
one. Just no roadmap. What,
Yeah.
dude? What?
And the fact that I honestly do not think Palpatine was the main antagonist from the beginning of the conception of the sequels. I really don't think that was the case.
I don't think so either.
I think they had Snoke or Snowed or where the fuck be that guy, and then they screwed it all up.
Oh, man. You know what? Can I be honest, guys? I still like the prequels better than these new ones.
Sure.
I still like them.
Sure.
I'm probably in the minority here, but I like the prequels more.
I probably, after watching these sequels, it gives me appreciation for the prequels a lot more. Attack of the Clones sucks. No one can deny that. But it does make Revenge a lot cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Makes Anakin's, origin a little bit more interesting.
yeah.
At least it was all a cohesive story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, there's still weird lore in the prequels, right? With
Oh, yeah.
midichlorian and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's
but,
dumb shit, of course. But
yeah, as far as I don't know, this one is a mess. But yeah, that's our review.
Not the worst Star Wars movie, by the way. It's still good.
It
I
was
recommend
alright.
people to go watch.
It's
I
entertaining.
stick with my 6
Cool.
out of 10.
Fights were sick,
Fights were cool.
but
It looked
it's-
really cool.
The logic is out the window. If you just go along for the ride, literally, if you turn your brain off, it's a fun movie.
Go see it and don't think about it after you watch it.
Yeah.
Go and you'll be fine.
It
You'll be
reminded
fine.
me
You'll be
of,
like, that was good. That was as good as Force Awakens.
Action, all the lasers, dude. It was so fucking sick.
It reminded me of just watching Majin Buu and all of GT at once.
It was a lot.
Because it's going to be very confusing, but the end is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane. Let's cherry pick a few of you guys' questions from the Patreon. Make sure you guys leave questions on this post. We'll pick a few, or this pod's going long. We'll run through a few of them.
Okay.
Aaron,
Good.
my boy Aaron says, what kind of students were you guys during kindergarten through 12? I'm talking, were you troublemakers? The kid who tries too hard to be funny, comes off annoying. The kids that were seen but not really heard. I think the latter. Also,
that-
were you guys involved in extracurricular activities?
Good question.
I'll start off and just say I was probably the kid that was seen but not really heard. Very quiet in the back of the class. Probably making only like the 2 or 3 people around me or one person next to me laugh.
Yeah.
And doodling shit and passing doodles around just the people around me. But I would see the kids who were like the class clowns get up, and I thought it was cringy.
Me too. Yeah.
There was a lot
I think
of those.
Me and Justin were very similar. We were the kids that were seen but not really heard. Like the people that did know us, you know, they thought we were funny and all that stuff. They thought we were class clowns, but we weren't the people that were like, "What's going on, class?" Like trying to get laughs and trying too hard, that kind of shit. Like
Kind of kept to our own.
we kept to ourselves for sure. We had a very small group of friends.
Yeah, but extracurricular for me, not much until I was doing the dubs.
Drawing.
I was doing the dubs like around junior year. That's kind of when it picked up. So then people kind of knew me for that, which was something. But until then, it was just drawing for me.
I joined the basketball team my senior year, but that was about it. There was a whole bunch of just practice and sitting on the bench. Boy, that was fun.
Boy, I remember standing outside the school, getting ready to get picked up, and the coach come running out almost like every day, run up to Damon, like past me, my friends, everyone else just go right up to him and go, "Dude, please, you got to join the team, man.
We need you."
We don't care. Don't care about the $300 waiver for the jersey. The school will pay for it. We just need you on the
We'll
team.
get
You're
a shuttle to pick you up.
You
Don't
are
worry
the
about it.
tallest kid out here. We need you on the team, dude. We're dying out here.
It's like, we need your help, man.
Canyon High is destroying us. We need you.
I was like, I just play for fun with my friends. They're like, whatever, that's fine. You play.
whatever.
That's more than all these
sure.
other kids do.
Travel. We don't care. Just do it. Run in the key as much as you want. We don't care. They were after Damon so
Scouting.
hard.
They were. So the next year, I was like, you know what? I think I'll give it a shot.
Thank God.
And then they didn't even use me when I was on the team.
We just need you on the team.
We
just to have you.
Just to diversify it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So they really wanted you.
It was fun. I had a good time, though. I wish I joined my freshman year because joining a team and playing sports in high school is actually a lot of fun.
It gives you such a probably big upper hand
Oh,
socially,
it does.
too.
It
My
really
God.
does, man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I wish I joined my freshman year because my senior year was, without a doubt, I feel like most people, it is for them, but your best year of high school. But like after basketball was over, you had like a free period. Bro, I had 3 classes and I was out. Like, it's so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I don't think it gets explained enough or is understood in like high school specifically. But joining a sport is a great way to increase your social bubble. Because I played football, and even like the dorks, if you joined football, you at least had that camaraderie, and at least you had like that, you know, companionship, because you're almost forced to like talk to one another. And even then, at that point, because every high school guy's the same, you have nothing going on with your life. You realize you have a lot more common than you think. And then you just have this, your social bubble just increases just by doing that. Then you don't even have to be good.
Yeah, just being on the team alone is huge confidence boost when you're in high school, man.
Not for me.
Highly recommend it.
Video games is the way, boys. I turned out all right, so fuck them. Outer Space got a question. If there was one game you would love to see remade, what would you love to see rebooted? He likes the Crash trilogy. He wants to remake Ape Escape or Dead Space. Dead Space is pretty cool. Even though Dead Space still stands the test of time, I believe.
It still does.
We get asked this one a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
I'm sticking with my same answer, man. I am waiting for a Super Mario RPG HD remake, and I would lose my mind.
That'd be
the
sick.
way that these guys feel about Final Fantasy is how I feel about Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
Nice.
Final Fantasy
that's my
7
game.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff is happening. Final Fantasy
7 is definitely at the top, but this one, I want to see this happen in my lifetime, is Final Fantasy Tactics. Oh,
That'd be cool.
completely new gen tactics with a deep like class system.
Would you want it to play like XCOM or some shit?
I don't know. I would want to see what they could come up with.
No, I don't know
it doesn't have to play exactly the same way Final Fantasy Remake's not going to play the same as the predecessor. So I would like to see what they could do with that, and I always hope for it, and it never happens.
Yeah, well, I don't know. A lot of the stuff they're doing already, like Final Fantasy 7, I don't really have anything in the back pocket. Like Chrono Trigger was cool, but I feel like if they remade it, it would suck. There's some things I just don't want them to touch.
I mean,
I'm like, they're old games for a reason, but
that's such a weird way of thinking. Like, if they did make it would suck. But like, what if they made it was great?
that's just no. That's no.
Either
Like the Secret of
nostalgia's too good.
Mana, I just saw Secret of Mana and the remake of that. I'm like, I'd rather play the original.
They would weeb it out and it would suck.
Yeah, it would get very overly anime. Whereas Final Fantasy 7, they're still trying to make it.
It's in that in between.
I don't know how they fucking That's a miracle that game is looking good.
Is Final Fantasy VII a weeb game?
I mean, it should be, but because it's so monumental for so many people as the first big PlayStation game that, regardless of your weeb meter, you played and you loved, I think that's why they get by. I think that's why it is surviving the weeb
Sephiroth
remake.
is, like, you could argue Sephiroth is like both weeb and mainstream.
I'm telling you, that game it's a miracle that is not the weebiest looking shit. We're not looking at that and going, oh my God, that looks so bad, dude. Like, even Kingdom Hearts over time got just weeb, just way too weeby.
I think it speaks to the original art direction of Final Fantasy VII, like the original, like in '96.
Not getting his hand in the cookie jar and trying to fuck with it too.
He made timeless art,
and they're not updating it or changing because they know it would piss people off. But
good,
that game, I don't know. That's mine. Thank you, Outer Space. Larissa.
Thank you, Outer Space.
Love the new Jerry Curl merch, boys. Oh,
Hell yeah.
Speaking of which, if you guys still haven't picked it up, make sure you go grab some merch. We also got
Teespring.com/veryjerry.
Also got that dank chicky nuggy in that mattress, bitch. Love that new merch. Would you ever consider making a DD Jaboody inspired merch for pups? Oh, for dogs?
Oh, specifically
there you go.
dogs.
Rep, you guys will hike it with my pup. Well, depends how big your pup is, but you can get a small. DD wears like an adult medium.
Yeah, so we've always talked about like different merch. Like we've always said, like, dude, a DD plush toy would be sick as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to make that happen.
Yeah.
So if you know how to make that happen, I want to know because I think it's totally doable and I think people would love it and that'd be really cool.
Yeah, if you find a website that prints screen shirts for dogs, you let us know.
Yeah.
We'll add it to
I'll
the
let
list.
you know if it's possible.
We'll see if Teespring's got that yet. But thank you, Larissa.
Thank you.
Soul. Hope this isn't too repetitive, but a fan of yours for about 6 years or so. I don't know the origins of the Jaboody squad since I only joined Patreon a couple months ago. The question: I barely figured out you guys are childhood friends, so I want to know how far your childhoods have you guys known each other, age, grade, whenever. Me and Pops are bros.
4 years apart.
You guys have known each other most of your lives, right?
Forever.
I've known him his entire life.
Okay.
As far as time exists, as I know it, I've known him. And then me and Damon became friends. I think fourth grade.
I think third grade.
Third.
I actually knew Louis first.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, and Louis introduced me to them because they're all related. They're cousins. And I think it was we all had our first class together in third grade. We were all, and that's when we all became friends.
And you guys were like in the same class for like multiple years.
Oh yeah,
throughout
ever
elementary.
since third grade until I think, just the rest of our school. We were
Like
in the same
high school.
class.
Yeah. High school, if we were lucky enough, you know.
that's
High
a lottery,
school
right?
is. Oh, dude, I remember the first day. We gather up with our full crew and just be like, "Fuck, I didn't get any classes with anyone."
If you were that kid,
But
that didn't get
sometimes-
any class with your friends.
Sometimes you got that semester where you're like, whoa, 80% of our classes with my friend.
Just hanging out with this one of your buds just the whole time.
That was gold. And you'd be like, let's just share a locker because, you know, why
We always
fuck
got
around?
art class together, which was like the best because it's just hanging out. Just fucking bring your PSP and just play fucking Street Fighter in class. We just play video games. But yeah, man, thanks for joining the Patreon.
Appreciate it, dude.
Danimals, what celebrity you guys want to see start streaming? I'll say, Jack Black has been killing the YouTube.
God, he took mine.
I'd like
Jack
to see him
Black.
stream. Jack Black would be cool.
I always heard that Tommy Wiseau streaming. He needs to do more of it. I'd love to see his day-to-day life.
He does. He only does like Q&As at his screenings, and it's very scuffed on his phone.
I would love to just see a day in the life of Tommy Wiseau. Just how does he manage to live?
Today we'll play Fortnite.
I would love to see the super seducer guy do live pickup.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Calls,
that would
answer
be
calls.
content, dude.
That
You
would
would
be
make
pretty
bank too.
Oh my god, the memes.
People
from
would
that?
be like, "Help me, help
He
me."
would. He would.
dude. And that stream I would watch 100% of the time.
I could see that guy being a fucking 10K viewer stream.
You guys want to see
Easily,
him?
yeah.
I want to see my boy Mahmood get out there.
Yeah, Mahmood will make a
Mahmood.
special guest
I'm trying to
appearance.
see Mahmood hit
He
the
wouldn't do
streets.
pickup though. He'd play Fortnite. He would be playing games.
He would.
Oh man,
Thank you, Danimals.
thank you.
Appreciate it, animals.
Marcinto.
Marcinko.
Marcinko.
Orozco.
Hey guys, could you tell us some of your favorite Xmas movies? I personally love a tier list to see where the greats are. Home Alone, Christmas Vacation, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Sit with Y'all. Much love and take it easy.
Thank you, Mark.
Jingle All the Way. It's good stuff.
I thought that movie sucked,
R3.
but after we did the movie commentary, I'm like, this movie's actually pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, Christmas Story's up there, but I've seen it a bajillion times.
Oh, Christmas Story. Is it Christmas Story?
A Christmas Story.
I've seen that. So TBS would always put that on a 24-hour rerun on Christmas Eve, and we
it's
would
probably
watch
gonna start
that.
tomorrow for us.
We would watch that.
shit.
Do they still do it?
Oh yes.
Y'all shoot your eye out. Well, we would.
Oh man.
Dude, I remember being a little kid watching that movie till I fall asleep on a loop, and I would just wake up and I'd be like shaking, so excited. It's fucking Christmas, dude.
You guys
And the
would always-
movie would still be on.
You know what? You would turn it on, and it'd be at the same part where you fell asleep.
Oh wow.
Makes you feel all warm.
Ah,
and
them
it's
good,
like,
old, them good old VCR days, huh?
dude, I was at I had to get new like comforter, and I was at Bed Bath and Beyond. They're selling the lamp with the leg.
Yeah, the
And
fragile
it's
lamp
like $300
for a leg.
Damn.
for a leg lamp. I was like, yo, that is the most expensive Christmas decoration
That's
I've
a-
ever seen.
Excuse my French, but that's a white trash item.
It was like $200 or some shit. I was like, whoa. It may be $150. I was like, dude, I can't believe that's that expensive. Some plastic with a light bulb? Fuck.
I've never even seen that movie, so I have no idea what that is. But I used to always watch Home Alone. That one was mine. That's what was on repeat in my house. And Home Alone 2, the part with the bricks. Me and my sister would just that one scene alone, just have that shit on repeat over and over.
I
and over
thought you were
again.
gonna say you threw bricks at your sister.
No, I wish, but no. Yeah, that one and Grinch, Jim Carrey, Grinch that Stole Christmas.
Really?
movie.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh, Jim Carrey's Grinch?
Wow.
Mhm. I mean,
I
I
haven't
love
watched
Jim
that.
Carrey, and my family would just always have that one on repeat
Wow.
too.
That movie.
Yeah.
The old school Grinch
Yeah,
is
okay,
good
yeah.
too. I don't have a tier list. I can't really.
I really
I've
want to
never
watch
seen
the,
Christmas
the
Vacation.
Rudolph claymation one again. That deserves a
Might
shout
be
out.
Might be a little bit of a snooze, but I mean, it's
But for
classic.
nostalgia. But
Um,
and then Gremlins.
Gremlins,
Oh,
yeah. You
Gremlins.
can't forget the movies that aren't Christmas movies, but are Christmas movies technically. Die Hard and shit like that too, right?
Godfather.
Oh yeah.
Godfather, which we found out. Yeah. Thank you, Marcinko. Thank you for the question,
Thank you,
dude.
thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
And Daniel.
Daniel
boy,
D.
Damn, damn.
Hey, boyos. It's the holidays are soon. I wanted to know if you and your family have any holiday traditions.
Yeah, so we don't do the Christmas Eve Christmas, which I think is kind of cool when the people do it at night on Christmas.
Oh yeah.
It's more of a Hispanic family thing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that.
What do
we
you
do it-
mean? What are they doing?
So they celebrate their Christmas on Christmas Eve
Yeah.
When Santa show up?
At night.
at night. And then you open gifts and that's it.
Wait, so Christmas Eve,
You do your
they
dinner
eat dinner, then they open gifts,
sometimes.
and then
I'll-
they go to sleep,
And then they open
and they
gifts.
wake up, and there's more gifts to open.
Yeah.
Yep.
A second wave that's all Santa gifts.
Santa's gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And then you open that and then that's it. There's no Christmas Day dinner. You did it on Christmas Eve.
Wow.
Yeah. One of our buddies used to
dude.
do that. Tony used to do that.
What the fuck?
Mhm.
Yep.
That's crazy. Well, I don't know if I like ours better then, because ours is all on Christmas Day.
Christmas
You
Day
op-
is the
You
event.
open the presents from mom and dad, from other family, and Santa. We didn't get this double dip, where one day you get Christmas presents from family, and the next day, oh, a miracle has happened. There's fucking more. Shit,
They
dude.
got it pretty damn good.
We used to get to do one on Christmas Eve. Get to
That's-
open one.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was the more normal thing, was that you only open one on Christmas Eve just to hold you over till
Just
the
a
morning.
taste.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
appetizer,
Little
a little
tease.
shitty
And
gift.
then
Well, yeah.
they'd be like, all right, pick it out. And then you'd probably pick out the PlayStation. Like, no, not that one. That one's for the main day. You got to pick out the
Yeah.
that little one.
A little stocking stuffer.
yeah.
I had a friend who they let you, do the shake the gift under the tree, try to see what it was. And if you could guess what it actually was, like you'd be like, oh, is this a toy or whatever the fuck? They would let you open it because you already figured it out. I remembered one year I went to my friend's house and he's like, dude, I need to figure out what this is. And it was embroidered. And so what we did is we took a piece of paper and we did that
Oh my
fucking
God.
Oh, wow.
fossil things.
Holy shit.
And it was Diablo 2, and we're like, Diablo! And they're like, fuck, they figured it out.
Oh shit.
Damn, nice.
That sounds like a good Christmas.
Nice.
There.
Diablo 2, by the way, was freaking sick.
But yeah, other than that, we don't really have any more. I mean, I'm literally like the youngest in the family. Like at this point, there's no kids in our family.
I mean, it's like
we don't do anything now.
Yeah,
but...
it's like the cousins have kids and they probably do their own fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think too. We don't really do any tradition. Everybody's grown in my house.
Yeah.
But when we were young, like our parents went all out and they would have they would make it so like Santa did come in and bumped over the tree and
reindeer tracks in the
broke
living
an
room.
ornament and had like hooves walking through the living room and give you a real immersion as a little kid to be like, holy shit,
that
some
is
guy
pretty
was
nuts.
actually in here last
It
night.
looked like some shit went down.
And they
dude.
loved it. So yeah.
Almost kind of scary.
Kind of,
sometimes.
yeah.
Yo,
Well,
dude,
somebody was
somebody was here
in my house.
Yeah, he was fucking here, dude.
One year, I'll never forget this. My mom actually went all out one year. I think it was the year that I found out Santa wasn't real. So like me and my little sister were just like super bummed. My mom, instead of having the whole Santa bullshit thing, she did like a little Christmas present treasure hunt around my house. And she left little clues. Like it started out under the tree and like all the presents were gone. And we're like, oh, where'd they go? And then she like left little clues around the house. We like had to actually find our gifts throughout the house. And it was really cool.
That's dope.
Yeah. So I'll never forget that because it was like completely different.
If you could do that and then hide one of the gifts under the pillow you just slept under,
Oh,
you'd been like,
damn.
What?
Next level.
But you can never beat that fucking excitement, dude. Holy shit, when you're a kid and that shit was popping off, man. You'd wait. I remember I'd get up. I'd be like the first one up. I'd be shaking. I'd be so excited. It'd be cold to be like in
cold
my
and
little tidy
excitement.
whities. I'd run out and I'd turn that corner and see these big ass, because when you're a kid, you get boxes. You get like toys, which are usually bigger, like a play set if you're lucky. Like you get a big box. Dude, and that's what I remember our parents would always be like, it was cool when you guys were little because you wanted toys, which made
Had
Christmas look
boxes.
big. Now you want these games that are this big, and so Christmas is like 4 of these.
Yeah, and that
And
little
like-
box is like $300.
Yeah, it's like
Little
more
iPhone.
expensive, way smaller. There's only 2
Yeah.
or 3 of them, and they're only this big. But as a kid, it's like you get these like little $10 boxes that are this big. I remember just seeing that and be like, fuck, and then I'd run to my parents' room in there asleep, and I remember just looking at them while they're asleep and just being like, wake up.
Oh.
Like, and I remember shaking. And I remember my mom would wake up, see me just looking at her sleeping, like,
And they'd
how
freak out.
could you be sleeping when literally a miracle is happening? Like,
literally.
as
Come
far
on
as
now.
I know, Jesus, I haven't seen any cookies eaten from him.
True.
But to me, Santa was like, yo, the cookies and the milk are gone. There's there was 2, our parents made it very real.
Yes.
There's reindeer tracks. This, to me, was the only, like, magic is fucking real.
Mhm.
And I could not, I remember just almost being upset, like, how could you guys not want to wake up right now? And they're like, I don't know, we'll do it later. We'll
Yeah.
sleep.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Let's
like,
have
how
breakfast
could you
first."
sleep? This is like more important than fucking Jesus Christ coming to earth. Like, this is it. He's here. He was here last night.
Justin felt the spirit of Christmas that day.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, man.
I was into it, man.
That was
they
funny.
made it very real, you know?
Yeah, I did the same exact thing. I'd get up super early and I'd go try to wake my mom up, but I was a little too nervous because if I ever woke up my mom, she'd be pissed. So I do the same thing. I would just stand there. And my mom would kind of like hear me like just standing there and hear me breathing or whatever. She kind of opened her eyes and be like, oh my God, what are you doing just standing there? Just make a noise or do something. Because I would be like,
How can you sleep?
wake up.
Do you know what day it is? It's Christmas day.
Just, yeah, you imagine just a parent just trying to sleep and then hearing in your ear just, it's Christmas. Like I used to freak my mom out, so she'd get pissed. She'd be like, go back to sleep. It's not time yet.
The hardest thing to do is to go to sleep the day before Christmas, and you get just that anxiety that
can't
tomorrow's
go to sleep.
Christmas. And you know if you go to sleep, you'll wake up and it'll be Christmas, but you can't.
You can't
Oh,
sleep.
it's impossible.
It's the same thing as like trying to go to sleep the day before you know you're going to Disneyland. It's just impossible. You're
Yeah.
not going to sleep that night. That's
And then
all
you
it was
get
for
worse
me.
sleep, and then you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird thinking about, if you have kids, I'm like, damn, dude, do you want to go all out? Because it built that expectation, and then it's so devastating when you find out what's going on and you're like,
That's part of
fuck,
growing
dude.
up,
But
though.
I think that's the first disappointment you're meant to
Yeah.
take to heart and be like, damn. But yeah, I remember I was like, damn, Santa's not real?
What about the Tooth Fairy?
Easter Bunny, Jesus, the Tooth Fairy. I was like, what about all that stuff? I was like, what? Oh, fuck.
The leprechaun,
I was
too?
like,
I
all
can't,
right.
can't trust anybody
To
anymore.
me, that was it. I was like, all right, well, fuck it. All right.
Father
But-
Christmas can suck a dick.
Bah humbug, I say, right, Dee
I'm like, I knew that shit wasn't real because I've been naughty all year, and I still be getting
Still
these
got
gifts. I
it.
still got
Still
my
got this
gifts.
PlayStation.
I knew he wasn't real.
Yeah, I wonder if there's anyone that actually was like such a bad kid that they actually just got no gifts.
One time, my sister got one lump of coal. She threw a little tissy fit, like I think it was like a couple days right before Christmas, and my mom like really fucking set her straight. Like she got all of her gifts and everything, but in one of her stockings was just one little lump of coal.
Does that make you reform, or do you just hate everyone more?
Oh, my sister was freaked the fuck out. She's like, "Oh my god, I need to be on my best behavior next year."
Okay.
So it did definitely work.
All right, cool.
I saw that happen to Louis once. He was not happy.
Well, Louis was the worst person.
He was
The
not
Louis?
happy, dude.
That would make him act worse.
Little
Fuck
Louis.
you, Santa.
He got a
How
little
could you?
dude. I remember he was pissed.
He was a bad
I think he
kid.
started crying. I was like,
Well,
it was
yeah.
like really fucked up. I was like,
And Louis
damn,
a big
dude.
sensitive softie. in
He's,
the
yeah.
end.
Yeah.
I remember he got coal once. That was the only time I ever saw it, and I was like, damn.
But also, Justin, wasn't he the kid that spoiled it for you though?
Yeah, he was definitely the
So
one who
he
was like,
deserved
no, he's
Yeah.
not real,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
And you're like,
Idiot.
fuck. I didn't want you to say it, but I kind of was feeling
you
this
knew
way.
it down in your-
and now you
yeah.
said it and you're laughing about it. So fuck, man. It's
Yeah.
true, man. It's all a lie.
Yeah. A good lie though. There are good lies.
A good lie.
There's some,
But a lie.
you know.
Thank you guys for listening to another fantastic podcast.
That was a long one.
Make
Oh,
sure
that's a really long
make sure you
one.
guys leave a comment. It might be featured in the next one.
Hey,
Yeah. Please leave a question in the comment section below and we will answer it.
yeah. You guys check out that Patreon if you haven't yet.
We'll
know
see you
what I'm
guys.
saying?
We'll see you guys
Oh,
next
wait.
time. Happy holidays from all of us here.
New
at
dub.
the Jaboody Studios.
New dub on the Patreon. If you
Bye.
haven't seen it yet, that's what I meant.
Bye, everybody.
Bye everybody.
Happy holidays.
Love everybody. Peace. Happy holidays.